Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. All right.
The annual Conference of Masculine Excellence has been confirmed, and this year it will be held in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Lake Tahoe. Its panoramic vistas, picturesque surroundings, and stunning views is the perfect backdrop for the theme of this year's event, which is less conference, more adventure. This year's event will be a very different experience, to say the least. And Donovan has spared no expense to make sure that you will have the adventure of a lifetime. Your adventure begins on the back of a state-of-the-art all-terrain quad as you ride through the high Nevada desert and the legendary pine forests of Lake Tahoe. This exhilarating experience will give you the best chance to see, smell, and wear some of the most extraordinary scenery on the planet. Together, you and your brothers in arms will feel the wind in your face and smell the aroma of sage and pine, all surrounded by the snow-capped Sierra mountain range, making this trek one of the most unforgettable journeys of your life. Next, saddle up, partner. It's westward ho, as you and the guys will mount up, regulator style, and ride through the Nevada frontier on horseback. From the high desert plateaus to the icy streams in the valleys, your equine expedition will take you through some of the most beautiful and diverse terrain in the region. Those familiar with Lake Tahoe often say that the best way to enjoy this spectacular scenery is on horseback. And this relaxing ride with your boys through the Sierras will undoubtedly prove just that. And last, but certainly not least, you will set sail on Lake Tahoe itself. Your journey starts on what's been called the most beautiful drive in America. On the way to the dock, you will see even more unbelievable scenery, along with possibly catching a glimpse of some of the wildlife. You will then board the vessel that will quietly cruise along the crystal clear waters of the Lake Tahoe River Basin. You can gaze through the panoramic windows, or you can take in your impossibly gorgeous surroundings from the deck. Experiencing this incredible excursion with the like-minded men in your community will be something that each and every one of you will remember for the rest of your lives. So in your paid time off and join us from October 24th through the 27th for the ultimate guy getaway. Tickets are on sale, but space is extremely limited, so act fast before it's too late. Head over to masculineexcellence.com now to lock down your spot. Link in description or bio.
Traction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
Uh-oh. Well, what's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to episode number 1087 of TSR Live. Apparently, I can't be seen. That's a little weird because I literally just set up my camera. So, give me 2 seconds here. This doesn't make any sense. Hang on, guys. We do it live. Okay, this is... okay, well, this is extremely odd because... Well, hang on a second. Nope. I literally just set this up. All right, guys. I do apologize. Yeah, that doesn't really make much sense. Let me try this one. Hang on. No, that's not it either. Huh. I had this thing set up, guys. I promise you. I promise you. All right, let me see if I can add one here. 2 seconds. Oh my god. Oh, there we are. There we are. Okay. Okay, get that out of here. There we go. There we go. I do apologize. I do apologize for that. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to episode number 1087. And so now what I have to do, So now what I have to do is I have to set this up. But so I'll work on this. I'll do it. I'll on the job training, right? Isn't that what they call it? At any rate, guys, welcome to the. There you go. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. I have no idea why that just happened. That was really effing weird. Anyway, guys, it is good to have you guys in here today. I'm going to quick announcements before we get started, and we're going to jump right into it. Guys, make sure you guys follow me. Make sure I'm doing this right. Make sure you follow me on social media at Donovan Sharpe TSR is where you can find me on Instagram. Rumble.com/Donovan Sharpe is where you can find me on Twitter. On X, look for at TSR Donovan. How to Relationship is what you plug in to find me on Facebook. Guys, make sure you check out our Discord. We have an absolute blast in there. We exchange information. We laugh. We tell inappropriate jokes. We give each other advice. We post memes, videos. I make announcements. I give advice. We have a great time over there, so jump in on our Discord. Link in description. And if you have a show idea or a video or any topic, put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord. TSRacademy.com is where you can get your hands on my 3 free ebooks. Anyone new to this community is always looking for a place to start because there's so much information out there. So many videos, it's a lot. Well, consider these 3 ebooks sort of a quick start guide to the Red Pill community, if you will. It is a great place to start, pardon me, if you're looking for a bit of a jump start to your Red Pill renaissance. So go to tsracademy.com, plug in your very best email, and those 3 ebooks packed with actionable advice and life-changing information are yours absolutely free. Number 1. Number 2, I didn't plagiarize anybody like Richard Cooper. Richard Cooper's, what is that, unplugged alpha bullshit that he put out, which is basically The Rational Male for Dummies. Yeah, don't buy that book. Don't buy that book. Rich Cooper is a rich fucking loser, and I'll say that to his face if I ever see him. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Gentlemen, as you saw before, the 4th annual Conference of Masculine Excellence goes down in Lake Tahoe this October 24th through 27th, and to say it is going to be a game changer is an understatement. We are riding ATVs off-road. We are sailing on Lake Tahoe. We're riding horses. We're doing all kinds of things specifically designed to bring us together, to test and challenge us, and to really strengthen our bond in this community. This is the CME I am looking forward to the most. And if you have ever thought about attending, this is the year. And remember, if you are a patron, you get a 20% discount on your ticket. So head on over to masculineexcellence.com to reserve your spot now, because we're only selling 50 tickets. I'm cutting off at 50 to keep from losing 6 figures again. So get your ticket before it's too late. Pardon me. I know for an absolute fact, that most of you did not get a notification when I went live on YouTube. The reason you're here is because you either randomly checked YouTube, happened to get a notification from Wumble that wasn't 45 minutes late, or you heard me say, pardon me, what time I was going live yesterday, and you assumed it'd be the same time. But we all know that getting lucky or guessing correctly is not a good strategy to make sure that you don't miss any of my live streams. Pardon me. Well, I have a solution for you, and that is Club TSR. Club TSR is our SMS text service that notifies you every time I go live on any platform. And the best part about it is that it is super cheap, only $2.99 per month, which is less than 10 cents a day. If you are already a Sharpe Stream member, don't sweat it. You can join too. You can still keep your Discord status and keep your access to now over 107,000 hours of exclusive content not found anywhere. But you are still in the club, which means you won't miss another live stream either. The difference is that it's going to cost you even less. Only additional $1.50, guys. That's it. Isn't 10 cents a day worth not missing your favorite content creator's least favorite content creator? If the answer is no, go fuck yourself respectfully. All jokes aside, head over to donovansharpe.com/SMS today. So quickly, guys, just real quick here. The reason why there was no dating show breakdown is because I actually just landed. I just got back from Las Vegas. What time did I get here? I'm drawing a blank. What time did my flight leave? So my flight left Las Vegas this morning at 5:00. Got here to Reno at 6:30. Jesus Christ. Did some stuff, continued to unpack, took a 2-hour nap, had something to eat, and now I'm here online. So I'm gonna soldier up for you guys. But here's the thing. I'm going back on the road tomorrow. That's right. I will be going to New York City tomorrow morning. So so my flight leaves in exactly 12 hours in 15 minutes. 12 hours and 15 minutes. I will be catching my flight. I'll be catching my flight to New York. I'll be there for the weekend, but I will be back but I'll be back on the air on Tuesday. I might do a live stream from New York City if I can squeeze it in. But we'll find that already. Yeah, Pro Special says MLD already cooked Rich Cooper. Yeah, Pro Special. Yeah, you're right. I actually watched that. I don't give a fuck. I'll cook Rich Cooper every fucking day of the year. I do not give a shit. I do not like that dude. I really, really, really don't like that dude. Elena Barr Fitness says, I figured you were traveling. I saw a show with Sterling Cooper. Yes, shout out to Sterling Cooper. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure that my sound effects are. There we go. So, shout out to, shout out to Sterling Cooper. We had a fantastic podcast. It was a very, very good podcast. He is absolutely going to be in New York City as well. Man, I'm on the road again. I just landed this morning. I'm taking off tomorrow morning. It is busy times for your boy. All right. I think, let's see here. Yeah, King Life Stomping Grounds. Let me just read a few of your comments here. By the way, guys, I'm having a little bit of trouble as of late. Let me go back in here. I'm having a little bit of trouble as of late reading the super chats. Pardon me, guys. And it has nothing to do with the system. It's just that my screen, I'm looking at a 55-inch screen instead of a 75-inch screen. And so here's what I will do. And here's the thing. When you super chat, when you guys super chat me, you guys know that YouTube takes 30%. Well, if you really want to help your boy out, if instead of super chatting, hit me with the Cash App. Everybody hits me with a Cash App. I will give you a Don DeMarco. I don't care if it's $1, $2, $100, $1 million. Every single Cash App gets a Don DeMarco and a shout out on the air. So not only do you get a Don DeMarco and a shout out on the air, I get to forego that 30% fee. So shout out to that. Grid One Motorsports says, I used to live at Lake Tahoe. Yeah, Grid One Motorsports, I'm not going to be able to bring you on because I don't have the capacity at this point right now. I've got to add my screen, but I will be collaborating with you very, very soon. Mark LeBrand, aka Oxcred, says Alexa's rebelling. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I set it up, and I don't know. Who knows? Elena says, wow, great to see you finally in the new studio setup. Yep, there you go. Devin says it is Friday the 26th. That is interesting. So Friday the 26th is like double Friday the 13th. So I don't know. You know that. Siege D says Rich Cooper. Siege D says he betrayed the cause. Look, let me let you guys in on a little secret. Rich Cooper's a fucking loser who's black-pilled, my friend. He's a fucking loser who's black-pilled. He's been in this community for way too long for him to be talking the way he talks. Okay? Rich Cooper does not know how to handle women. He's never known how to handle women. All he does is tell people not to date single moms. Yeah, no fucking shit, you rich fucking idiot. No fucking shit, man. Like, we got it. Roland Tomasi should sue your punk ass for plagiarizing his book. Fucking dumbass. Unbelievable. He just thinks he's so much better than everybody else. I'm just above it all. Fuck you, Richard. You're never part of this community anyway. You mana swamp. Fuck you. Fuck out of here. And the reason why you don't collaborate with anybody anymore is because nobody wants to collaborate with your dumbass. So fuck off. You guys can tell him I said that too. For real. Fuck him. Fuck him with the sickest one. I'm sick of that dude. I cannot stand that motherfucker. That son of a bitch tried to get me kicked off the Red Man group. He tried to get me kicked off the Red Man group, man. Fucking bitch ass motherfucker, man. Can't stand motherfuckers like that. Dude, I swear to God, I wish Rich would run up on me because I would fucking cave his fucking fat fucking face in. Glenn Lawrence with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, just so you know, Grid 1 is in the chat. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to bring him on because I don't, I'm not able to extend my screens. I'm looking at 2 screens. I'm normally looking at 8. But Grid 1, stay in the chat, please. Grid 1 Motorsports says, no worries, man. I'm about to go live on my channel, so let's talk later. Absolutely. Jaguar says, unplugged alpha, LOL. Yeah, CG says, didn't know that. Yeah, now you know. Yes, Rich Cooper plagiarized Rollo Tomasi's fucking book. And the motherfucker, dude, every other word, get my book. Nah, Rich, that ain't your book. That's Rollo's fucking book. And if you were a real man, you give the fucking proceeds to Rollo Tomasi because you literally stole his fucking book. Rational Mail for Dummies, Rational Mail Cliff Notes, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You don't know shit, you've never known shit, and you ain't shit. You're a rich fucking loser. Now go fuck yourself. And if you have a problem, you can see me in the streets, dumbass. Yeah, I'm coming out on fire tonight. Fuck him. And I'm sure he'll put out some video and I'm so much better than you. Richard, shut the fuck up, man. Dude, nobody respects you. Nobody likes you. Get the fuck out of this community, man. Like, dude, you've talked all this shit about how you're not in the Mana Swamp, yet you were on Fresh and Fit. Fucking hypocritical fucker. Dumbass. Yeah, Sean Morris says, I unsub from Rich's channel. Dude's a disappointment. Yeah, he's a loser. He's a rich fucking loser. Him and Destiny should get together. The both of them. All right, so now that I'm done venting my spleen, wait a minute, hold on. I will get this started. Oh, that is very cool what I just saw. Huh, how about that? $sign Donovan Sharpe is where you can cash at me. And yes, when you see the name Edwin Hopkins, that is my legal name. $sign Donovan Sharpe, Edwin Hopkins, hit your boy up. Pardon me. Carl Bennington with the $2 super chat says, Rich doesn't even spin plates, Rollo Tomasi. Look, I don't spin plates either, okay? I used to, but I don't. The problem is Rich has never, he does not have the requisite experience with women to speak on it. And look, to be fair, none of us we all have to learn somewhere, right? I wasn't born good with women. I had to learn my way around women. I had to trip and fall and trial and error, right? Rich made 2 mistakes with 2 women, and all of a sudden he's spooked out. He doesn't know shit. He ain't shit. He's never going to be shit. So fuck him. Can't stand that fucking dude. All right. So now that I'm done shitting on Rich Cooper, which is actually pretty fucking easy because it makes it easy, let's go ahead and get to the main event. Let me go ahead and shrink this down so that let you guys see. So I'm going to let you guys in on some, this will be some on-screen, look at that little on-screen editing there. Little podcast magic here. Hashtag OBS. Whoops. No, that's not it. A little bit. There we go. All right. There we go. Make sure this is big enough. Make sure this is big enough to get my big head on the screen. Okay, looking good. And now I will take my video capture. I will put it under my iPhone vector. Now I will take my video capture and I will move it into place and there we go. All right. It might be a little sloppy, but you guys still know it's me. It's all good. I know I'm particular about this shit, but we're going to try to get this in. All right. Very good. You guys know that I pause the video a lot. Okay. And I know it gets on some of y'all's nerves. I'm really going to try not to pause it too much. And it's really going to be easy not to pause it too much because I'll be honest with you guys, as much as I don't like Destiny, I can admit the dude is smarter than I am. And listen, and guys, please, I'm not being facetious. I'm not prefacing this. I'm not prefacing this so that you guys can tell me, no, Donovan, you're smart. No, listen, I understand. I'm intelligent in other ways. Okay. I'm intelligent in other ways. Destiny is I wouldn't even say he's a great debater, but he is very good. He can make an argument for anything. Okay. He can make an argument. Destiny can make an argument for the sky is not blue. He can make an argument for the grass is not really green. He can make an argument for, Donovan Sharpe is not really black. Well, I think a lot of people can make an argument for that. ha, he, ha. But Destiny is the type of dude who just argues for argument's sake, okay? He is a consummate, nobody knows what he stands for because all he does is takes the other side. He takes the other side. He thinks it's cute. Listen, being a contrarian was cool back in the 90s for about 10 minutes, but now it just makes people fucking annoying. Nobody knows what the switch-hitting loser really thinks. We don't know what he believes because all he does is goes against whoever. Look, man, we don't give a shit about people who don't have any steadfast beliefs. All we know is that, pardon me, all we know is that he talks really fast, and he is smart. I will give him that, but just because you talk fast and you're smart does not mean you are a great debater. So we will see what happens from here. And so to business. Let's get this party started.
Yes, man, I'm joined by two.
Oops. Wait a minute.
People that I call my buddies, good guys, contrary to what people might say. Andrew Wilson and Destiny. Today I'm going to be hosting a debate between them.
Yeah, this is the difference between myself and Myron. And I think I got to give it to Myron. And you want to know something? I think that if I were to meet Destiny and actually talk with him and we were to have a civil conversation, I think I could probably get along with him. I think the reason why Destiny and I don't like each other is because we've never met each other, right? You guys see all the time people like 2 years ago at the CME2, MLD and George Bruno, they used to go at each other at Twitter all the time. They both met at the CME. They shook hands and said, "Hey man, it's all good." Tommy Sotomayor, we had our issues way back when I was doing the first CME. He was pulling all kinds of crazy stuff. I saw him in the lobby at the Hyatt Centric Brickell in Miami, shook his hand. "Hey man, it's all good." So my guess is that if I ever saw Destiny in person, I knew who he was, he knew who I was. Look, I trust Myron's judgment, okay? If Myron is cool with Destiny, look, he might not agree with everything he says. I might not agree with everything he says, but my guess is that I would like to think that I am mature enough to understand, okay, if Myron is buddies with this guy, then it's probably for a pretty good reason. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. That being said, let's continue.
Was January 6th.
Carl Bennington with the $2 super chat says, "You are whitewashed." Joking. I don't know, maybe not.
An insurrection. Okay, the way this debate is going to go is we're going to have opening statements.
Oh, wow.
Parties
oh,
for
shit.
5 minutes.
Oh, wow. This is
their argument, their stance, who they are, introduce themselves to you, etc.
Black Lamer 2009 says, "You sure you wouldn't give him a tiger uppercut?" Nah, not really. Destiny hasn't he hasn't done anything to me. All he does is talk shit, right? All he does is talk shit. Destiny fans, they're looking for, Destiny fans they don't like me anyway. I don't care. Who gives a fuck if Destiny's fans don't like me? They're all video game playing, losers. Like, we all know that. Carl Bennington says, "Myron has no game." Listen, I appreciate the candor, but I got to time you out for that one because Myron is my friend, and you are not going to talk shit about my friends, Mr. Bennington. You can have your opinions. If you think Myron has no game, that's fine. Just don't fucking do it here. Don't talk shit about my friends, gentlemen. That's all I ask. That's going
to be 5 minutes uninterrupted. Then we're going to have 3 minutes where each of them are going to be able to lodge their arguments for 3 rounds of that for 3 minutes.
Yeah, Glenn, I can't read that out loud, but I agree.
Going back and forth, and then we're going to have 2
You know what? I'm going to speed this up.
rounds where it's an open 5-minute dialogue. I'll be timing each round, staying as a neutral moderator. So, guys, if you're not familiar with Destiny or Andrew Wilson, please go subscribe to both their channels. I'm cool with both these guys. Obviously, we don't agree on everything, but, I respect both these guys as skilled debaters, and they're, good colleagues of mine. So please go check out their channels on YouTube and on Rumble and all the platforms that they're on. Dominic Liberal on Twitter, the Paleo Christ.
Actually, I don't really know if I should speed it up because we might not be able to understand Destiny.
Is it the Paleo Christ on X?
Just Paleo Christ yeah.
Yeah, on X. So go check them out on all the platforms, guys. I'm happy to be able to host this debate. So other than that, we're live on all platforms, YouTube, Rumble, etc. Check us out on Rumble.
Sean Moore says video is low, volume is low on the video. Anybody else having that problem?
Rumble.com/fresh2fit. And Andrew, I will turn it to you to go ahead and start with opening.
Oh, Andrew's leading off. Here we go.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you to the entire Fresh and Fit audience for coming out, and to DGG as well. We're here today to debate if the events of the January 6th Capitol riots were an insurrection or if they weren't. Simple. It's a simple debate prompt. They either were or they weren't. Looking into the idea of insurrection itself, it isn't exactly clear what the meaning of it is. It does always seem to be tied together with violence or some will to overthrow a government, law, government system, government itself, or resistance to that law, or something akin to this. The Supreme Court hasn't given us any guidance on this as they wash their hands of it, and to date, not a single person has been charged or convicted of
Okay, is that a little bit better, guys? Is that a little bit better? And can you guys hear me okay?
Insurrection who participated in any of the J6 rioting. This includes Donald Trump himself, who was acquitted of inciting insurrection. You would think, with no clear guidance of what an insurrection is, a lack of anybody.
Okay, now okay. So there we go. I think there we go. I think I've dialed them both in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think my voice and the video are about the same. Are we good? I think we're good.
Being prosecuted.
Moonpilled Rational Optics has just popped in to support Donovan. He is the reason I know Charlie, Doc, in part you. Okay, very good. Good shit, man.
Or
Victor Jimenez said, Donovan, why did you move to Reno? Well, because I lived in Philly.
this supposed insurrection who participated, and a president acquitted of inciting one, that would be that. The events of January 6th were a protest that turned into a riot. This is nothing new. Democrats do it all the time. In fact, Destiny in 2021 completely agreed with my current assessment. Please, if you don't mind, play clip 1.
Okay, we will make that available to you. Bills is going to roll it up right now. And
okay, how's my voice now, guys? So Sean Moore says my voice is now too low. How's my voice now compared to the video?
we'll go ahead and give you an extra 5 seconds just on your thing, just because. Okay, go ahead, play the video, please. Bills.
If you think the majority of the people there were actually trying to do that, and all they managed to do was kill one woman got shot by the cops, you're fucking delusional. I think most of the people probably showed up to protest because they were fucking mad, and then shit got riled up. There were probably, almost for sure, I would say, some genuine bad actors there that had fantasies of invading the fucking Capitol and shit. Now, I think I heard from the FBI that it was 5% or less had some plan to do something. Even that number sounds a little bit high, because 5% of however many thousand people, there's a lot of people. But I don't think every single person who went there, their goal was to destroy the White House or destroy the Capitol building and take it over. But because if they were, we would have saw way more shit.
Okay.
Now, just so you know, I have no visual on my end when those play, and I'd appreciate it if you guys could put the visual up on my end as well.
Okay.
In fact, Destiny even agrees such rioting and political violence is part of the democratic process, akin to voting, he says. He said this to justify the George Floyd or BLM riots, that such riots were just one.
And guys, I want to preface, I'm going to re-preface this by saying that these guys, dude, look, man, not a fan of Destiny. I love Andrew Wilson, but again, I can admit these guys are this is above my pay grade, guys. Okay, this is above my pay grade. All right, I'm not nearly as good a debater as all three of these guys. This is not something I've been able to do. Not something I've been able to do. I'm not, and the reason why I'm not a good debater is because I'm just direct. I'm direct. I'm not I tell the truth. I give you my opinion and I tell the truth. I'm not the guy who's going to try to use word salad and strategy and, well, you said a lot. I'm just not good at that. This is why I don't debate, because in debates, there is a winner. Debates is a contest. There's a winner and a loser. And both sides are not interested in getting it right. They are interested in being right. Me, Donovan Sharpe, I am interested in getting it right. I don't care about being right. I'm interested in getting it right. And if I see new information that changes my opinion, I'm willing to listen, right? But I'm not going to continue to if somebody dispels something that I say, I'm not going to continue. For example, Alex from Playing with Fire, we had a debate on the definition of, or on something. So he said that you shouldn't wife up sluts. He says, Donovan, you said that you shouldn't wife up sluts. And I said, that's correct. He says, yeah, but you never know a woman's body count. I said, that's correct. He said, so wouldn't it be fair to say that most men do wife up and are girlfriends with sluts? I said, well, absolutely. He says, so wouldn't it be fair to say that instead of saying that you shouldn't wife up sluts, you shouldn't wife up women who act like sluts? I said, you want to know something, Alex? I'll concede that point. You're absolutely right. And I changed my narrative. I still don't like Alex from Playing with Fire. I think he is a greasy asshole. And if I see him, I'm going to, I'll smoke him with my fists. That being said, he was absolutely right in that. He was absolutely right with that point in that debate. And even though I can't stand that fucker, I can admit that he changed my my opinion in terms of the terminology that I used in terms of, staying away from women who are promiscuous. That is guys, and that was a debate. But again, I'm interested in getting it right. I don't care about being right. And because I don't care about being right and I want to get it right, that makes me a shitty debater. I'm not, look, dude, if you prove me wrong, look, I can still admit, listen, I don't like you, motherfucker, but you got me. It is what it is. Just, I don't know. Maybe that's me being actually mature. Who knows? Oh, sorry. Oh boy, my mouse is in a new place.
Inside of the Democrat coin and baked in to our Democrat process. The tail's in and just the other half of democracy, he says. Of course, he later denied this. Please play clip 2.
Okay.
Oh,
we'll
shit.
get this so that you can see it. Give us 1 second. I'm going to stop the clock while we're right now we're 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh, hold on, Bills. I'm going to start the clock back up once, to be fair here, once the clip is up. Can you see it, Andrew?
I cannot see the clip. No, on my end.
He's going to make it visible to you here in a second.
Great.
And I stopped the clock just so everybody knows.
This is actually very well done here by
guys.
Myron.
We're using William
Oliver
for
Ware
things
2
he'll be
says,
asking
yeah,
you.
he's gobbling a
Awesome
turkey.
stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bills in the back, working hard. Can you see it now?
I can see something. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we will roll the clip now. I'm going to start the clock back up. Bills, go ahead.
Disingenuous sack of shit. Because, as I've debated you in the past, you started talking before January 6th ever occurred about how the BLM riots were justified. It was just the other side of the coin of voting. Of course, once you realized that grip wouldn't do as well for you when you were debating the right now shit, you completely 180 your position.
Did I ever say writing is the other side of the coin of voting?
Probably did.
That's really strange statement I did. That's a really strange statement. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh my God. Whoa. Okay. Yep, okay. I got to slow this down. I got to slow it down, man. Because, dude, Destiny sounds like the Micro Machines guy from back in the 1980s. Holy shit. Ay. All right. Well, I tried.
Activism and riots are one side of the coin and the other side is voting. I don't think there's conspiratorial at all. I think that affecting political change like this is fine. Like, that's part of the goal. Like activism and riots are one side of the coin and the other side is voting.
Okay.
Okay. So if activism is the other. Okay. All right.
And we're
So-
3 minutes and 20 seconds in. Go ahead.
So, why the radical change of heart on this topic?
Yeah, Elena, you did tell me, didn't you? Yeah, Elena was right.
From Destiny, this complete 180, well, that's simple. He hates Donald Trump.
Yep.
A simple motivation.
Bingo. There it is. There it is. Andrew Wilson has already won the debate. He's already won the debate, guys. We're 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, and Andrew has won the debate. Listen, guys, Destiny hates Donald Trump, right? He hates Donald Trump. That's why he's in the tank for the Democrats. And the thing is this, and guys, I'm not trying to make myself sound any better or worse than anybody else, but I will sometimes admit my biases. When I go into these things, I'll say, guys, listen, I'm biased towards whoever, I'm biased against whatever, so my opinion's going to be a little bit slanted. But Destiny would never admit that. Destiny hates Donald Trump. But if he would just say, listen, my opinion's probably going to be a little bit slanted because I hate Donald Trump. But no. Destiny's that, oh no, it has nothing to do with my hatred for Donald Trump because I'm speaking facts. Again, he wants to be right. He doesn't want to get it right.
But at least understandable. He also hates Trump supporters.
Yep, there you
In
go.
order for him to justify that he wants them all
There
to
you
be
go.
unalived, he
There it
needs to
is.
brand them all as traitors and
There you go.
insurrectionists.
There it is.
In this way, he can build a case that Trump supporters are evil, and so it is justified to use violence against them. To recap that, Trump supporters are evil, therefore anything which happens to them is fine.
Whew, wow.
Going so far as to say his friend Pisco, the only reason he wouldn't have liked Trump to have been unalived by this would-be assassin is because it would motivate Republicans. This, of course, gives us an entailment that if it wouldn't motivate Trump supporters, he would be fine with Trump having met his demise in this assassination
Yes, he
attempt.
would have.
And this is the last clip. Play clip 3, please.
Yeah. Make no mistake. Make no mistake about it. Destiny absolutely wanted Trump unalived. Of course he did. All Trump haters did, which is hypocritical.
And then I'll wrap.
Yeah, Dave Whitley says a good leader can admit when someone is right about something. Yeah, like look, man. One thing about me, guys. You guys know I don't have an ego. I can admit when I'm wrong, right? I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, my wife is 1 year older than me. Okay, fine, whatever. It is what it is. I don't have an ego.
Wrap this up.
Okay, we're 4 minutes and 20 seconds in. I'm going to stop the watch while we pull this up.
He said, please play clip number 3. Boy, Andrew came ready to roll.
Approximately 4:24 seconds, but I'm adding another 5 from the first clip and how
Good,
we're
good.
pulling it up. So
Far beyond that. So far.
okay, I'll start the clock back up once we roll the clip. Can you see it, guys? Can you see it, Andrew? Oh, sorry, he's screen sharing it right now. Give us 1 second.
There we
pull
go.
it up.
We do it live, guys.
Thank
We
you,
do it
audience,
live.
and thank you guys for bearing with us here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hosting debates like this gives you a new appreciation for what news networks do because the transitions and all that are flawless.
Many things going on. We want to make sure that Andrew
Yes.
can see it as well as the audience.
Yep, I can see it.
You can see it? Okay. Bills, go ahead. I'll start the timer back up.
So far beyond that. So far giving a fuck beyond any of these fucking losers. But go ahead, yeah, sorry.
Can I ask you a question? So, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Do you wish the attempt had been successful?
Uh-oh.
Do I wish that the attempt had been successful?
Translation, yes. I wish the attempt had been successful. Guys, let me let you in on a little secret. What just happened with Destiny right there, him, and then repeating the question, let me hearken you guys back to a very cringy interview that Jerry Sandusky gave. Yes, Jerry Sandusky. We all remember him. He was one of the defensive coordinator for the Penn State Nittany Lions under Joe Paterno. He used a charity to groom young boys, and then E-par'd them, right? He E-par'd young boys, took them against the, like, horrible, dude, heinous crime. He's in jail. I hope they beat the crap out of him every day. But I'll never forget this. The interviewer, and I forget who it was, he asked him, he said, Mr. Sandusky, are you sexually attracted to young boys? And do you know what Sandusky did? He says, am I sexually attracted to young boys? No, I'm not. No. If somebody asks you a question like that and the answer is no, you say no. Donovan, are you sexually attracted to blah, 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 blah? I'd be like, hell no. And matter of fact, I'd do this. Oh, hell no. That would be my answer. I would not repeat the question. I wouldn't take a breath. I would say no. So the fact that Destiny took a breath and repeated the question means that he absolutely wished that the assassination attempt were successful. Easy peasy. Look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Come on, man. Come on, of course he does. Of course he does. And proof of it is right there. Let me rewind it. Just watch, just listen. This absolutely proves that he wishes it was successful. Just watch.
And you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Listen.
Do you wish the attempt had been successful?
Do I wish that the attempt had been successful?
Yep. Yes, you do, Destiny. Yes, you do. And you know you do. You know you. Now, does it make Destiny a bad person for wishing that the attempt were successful? I don't know. I'll leave that to you. Right? I'll leave that to you. But me personally, I don't think anybody deserves to be killed, guys. Nobody, in my mind, the only people that deserve to die are people who hurt children and animals. Right? Those are really, and I'm sure that there are many other types of people who deserve to die. Political figures I've never really met. I mean, listen, I don't really know that I hate any political, like I didn't hate Obama, right? I didn't hate Bill Clinton. I didn't hate John. I just don't, guys, I just don't have time in my day to hate people. That's just not what I do. Right? King Life says Trump has way less skeletons than Destiny does. Yes, he does. You're absolutely right. Oliver Ware says pause before the answer is a dead giveaway. Yep.
Fuck, am I even allowed to say anything about that?
Yeah,
you don't have to answer that.
That's a yes.
Here's what I'll say. This is what I will say.
There it is. Translation, yes. Just answer the question. Just look, if you wish the attempt were successful, then just say that. You know, listen, it's not against the law it's not against the law. It's not against the law to say you wish someone had been unalived. Right? It makes you look stupid. It makes you look short-sighted, but it's not against the law.
All right, because I'm trying to Fed post whatever. Here's what I will say. A failed attempt is probably the worst outcome of anything that could have happened.
There it is. That's, yes, a failed attempt. Jay Blay says at least Donald Trump didn't abandon any of his children. Yes. Destiny not only abused his wife, he actually admitted to choking her out. He left his son for Melina, who left him for a dude in a dress. But he wants to make fun of my wedding. He says my wedding was cringe. Yeah, I win.
Say that much.
I disagree. I think a successful attempt, if that had happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, hold on. We might agree. The successful attempt.
Stop real quick,
attempt. It wouldn't be an attempt at that point. The successful.
Pause real quick. So, guys, we just hit pretty much the 5-minute mark. Destiny, if you're okay with it, I can let this kind of go on.
Oh, he's not going to do it.
I'll afford you an extra minute and give you 6. Are you okay with that?
You can let me.
You sure? Okay. All right, then. So we'll complete this out. I'll time it. Whatever I gave Andrew, I will give.
Yeah, Destiny's choked his ex-wife and doesn't take care of his kid. Yes, he also endorsed. How can I put this? He also endorsed Elipideps, spelled backwards. Salipidep, spelled backwards. Salipidep, spelled backwards. PEDO. You guys know what I mean? PEDOS. Access to CHILDPORN. He actually said that. He said that on camera. He says, I want to give PEDOs, or he endorsed giving PEDOs access to CHILDPORN. He said that. He actually said that. So he endorses that. He's choked his kid and his ex-wife and doesn't take care of his kid. And he opened up his marriage. Guys, I got to tell you, man, for all the hate that we get in this community, people who look up to people like Destiny, guys, fucking losers, man. If that is your king, I can't help you. If Destiny is your king, my friends, we are lost. We are lost. You're seriously, you're going to idolize and deify this dude who dyes his hair blue, admits to having choked out and abused his wife, left his child, he abandoned his kid, right? He switched hits, and now he just sat here and said he wished that Donald Trump was unalive. Not only, that's your hero? That Donovan's a loser. Okay, well, if I'm a loser, then what the fuck does that make Destiny, man? Like, seriously? That is your hero? Like, honestly, that, and people who say that Destiny should be deplatformed, no. I think people like Destiny should have as big a microphone and as big a platform as possible so that you want to know something? Destiny is how can I put this? He is the human embodiment of everything that is wrong with America. He is the human embodiment. Everything about Destiny is just it's just incredible. Dude, sexual debauchery with women and men, opening his marriage, choking out his wife, wishing that people were unalive just because you disagree with them. Really? You want to worship that guy? Ha! Honestly, Destiny fans, I got nothing for you. I can't help you. I'm sorry. I can't help you.
Give to you as well on your opening statements if you're okay with that. Go ahead, Bills. Roll the clip back. Thank you, Destiny.
Whatever. Might be the worst thing that happened. But if it was the worst thing, it was just because of like the country's reaction afterwards, basically. Which is possible, yeah.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, do you see how he's very careful with his words? Do you see how he's careful with his words? Right? Kala Mikkel says he's still a debate god. He's still a debate god. So the fact that, let's just say for the sake of argument, Kala, that Destiny is a debate god. Let's just say that he is. And some might say that he is. Let's just say, does that negate the fact that he physically abused his ex-wife? Does that negate the fact that he abandoned his child? Huh? So because he is a debate god, that just absolves every. See, this is what I'm talking about. Kala Mikkel. This is what I'm talking about. These are the Destiny fans. He's still a debate god. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. If you endorse CHILDPORN to PEDOs, it doesn't matter if you're a debate god. Right? If you're choking your wife out, it doesn't matter if you're a debate god. If you abandon your son, it doesn't matter if you're a debate god. Well, listen, he choked out his wife and he, abandoned his son and he endorses PEDOs access to CHILDPORN, but he's a debate god. Yeah. Do you see how stupid you look right now, Kala? This is what I'm talking about. The fact that his fans, this Kala, whoever this person, woman, whatever is, sat there and just said, yeah, but he is still a debate god. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that just came out of your mouth. Jesus.
So, ultimately, Destiny needs to be able to provide us with what an insurrection actually is, an actual working legal definition, or even a personal one.
Now we're getting into the weeds here.
To understand the mindset of a person who claims this was an insurrection, even as nobody ultimately is prosecuted for an insurrection. He, to date, hasn't done this.
Colin McKell says, I don't see what it matters what he does in his personal life. Well, of course it does. Of course it does. Of course it matters what he does in his personal life. This is why we're influencers. We influence people.
Yes.
But listen, if you want to be a Destiny fan, Colin, be my guest.
For the same reason the Supreme Court and higher courts won't. If they do define it strictly and categorize it strictly, then it's likely Democrats and even Republicans are engaging in them all the time. Non-stop, in fact. I am, in fact, willing to, in the ultimate spirit of good faith, concede that if Destiny just can't really define an insurrection or tell us what goes into that category and not into the category of a riot, that he really has no business calling anybody an insurrectionist, especially when nobody's been charged with an insurrection.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, so just so you guys know, this is the part. It appears that they're getting into the part that's above my pay grade. So please, guys, please forgive me if I don't fully understand what these guys are talking about. I preface this by saying I'm not as smart as these two dudes. These guys, and guys, I'm not a political pundit. Like, I know enough about politics not to sound stupid. I know that Trump is going to win the election. I know that Joe Biden is probably senile, but I don't know all of the insular particulars about that's just not, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time, and I just don't have the brain capacity, because people who follow politics tend to be very angry, and that's really on both sides. And I'm angry enough, right? A guy like me does not need to be following politics, because I'm an angry enough guy already. Phoenix Light Games with $10 superset says, Donovan, you're right. I don't understand how people can look at Destiny and see him as a great example of what it is to be a respectable man. Everything we have said of what would happen with Melina was true. Exactly.
6. Nobody, and certainly not convicted. I will concede, however, if he concedes Democrats are likely involved in insurrections all the time, using violence for political change, I'll concede Republicans may be as well if his definition is that broad. However, that will eliminate his moral high ground for the justification of do what you want to them because they're traitors. That would also make you a traitor.
There you go.
With that, I'll cede my time.
Oh, wow.
Note in that video.
Holy smokes.
That the entire audience, when he was asked this question by Pisco, said, yes, we would have preferred that Trump.
Hey, that's 126 watchers. God damn it. Get it right, JTP2R.
Was unalive during that assassination attempt. Go ahead.
Okay. So that I have approximately 6.
This is what I like, dude. I love that trolls. I love that trolls. See, this is funny. Here's what trolls are now doing. Right? They see that I live a good life. They have seen the house that I have moved into. They see my lifestyle. So they can't call me broke anymore. So now they're going to troll me on my analytics. All right. Listen, man. Hey, 128 people watching. Yeah, it is what it is.
6 minutes and 45 seconds there. Destiny, I will reset the clock and allot you the same exact amount of time to stay fair here. Let me know when you are ready, and I'll restart the clock.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever.
You ready? Okay, I'm going to start it now. I'll give you 6:45, and go ahead, brother.
All right. I believe that the subject matter of the debate is whether or not January 6th is an insurrection or would be considered an insurrection. Originally, I thought there was going to be a 1v1.
AC says, coming from DS, who is a convicted felon and who had gone on record to smash gals. I have no idea what that last part meant. Yes, I'm a 4-time convicted felon, and I don't preach morals here. I don't preach morals here, guys. Listen, if you were looking for the moral cathedral, you're not going to find it here. You're not going to find it here. I'm just telling you that Destiny is a poor excuse of a man. Point blank, period. And any man worth his salt can easily see that. Ken Rose with the $10 super chat. Says, I know it's late saying this, but I wanted to congratulate you, Mr. Sharpe, on your move to Nevada. Is truly a beautiful state. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that super chat.
One debate against me and Andrew, but I can do a 1v2 debate against my 2021 less educated self as well. I have no problem speaking to arguments I've made in prior clips. I have no problem speaking to current arguments made by Andrew. So we can head down that road. I think that the first thing that we need to acknowledge when we talk about the structure of the United States government is that the Constitution of the United States.
And it's funny, AC, I'm a 4-time convicted felon. I live in a bigger house. I drive a nicer car. I fuck a hotter woman, and I drive and I live in a bigger house than you. So fuck off.
The United States is the supreme law of the land. The Constitution is what powers our 3 branches of government, and it sits above every other part of our government, and every part of our government must comport to the Constitution. I think this is a foundational American belief and principle, and if you don't share on this foundational belief, then we're never going to connect in any sort of meaningful way when we talk about how U.S. law or U.S. process or procedure or whatever should be carried out. So that being said, there was an amendment to the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, and Section 3 of that amendment basically goes on to say that any prior oath taker
I actually know what he's talking about here.
Or aided in an insurrection is no longer allowed to hold office, essentially. Now, the question that...
Yet, he's still on the ballot.
We come to today is trying to define what is an insurrection. And while in modern times, it seems like an insurrection is a term left to a dictionary or a term left to internet debate.
Okay, it's time to turn on the troll faucet. I need everyone to troll the shit out of Kala McKell. Because this dude can't and won't shut the fuck up. I don't want it. Listen, do not make a comment about anything unless you are trolling Kala McKell, or however the hell you say his name. Kala McKell is a fucking loser, and I want everyone in the chat to fucking let him know about it.
At the time that the amendment, the 14th Amendment, was
seriously, fuck his ass up.
Framed what was an what was an insurrection.
Troll that fucker.
Was pretty well understood. An insurrection includes 4 vital elements. 1 is an assemblage, meaning a group of people that have come together. 2 is resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding.
Dude, I love how people in the chat all of a sudden have a PhD in politics and debating.
3 is you have to do this by way of force or intimidation, and 4 is it has to be through for a public concern or a public cause, not a private thing that one might be interested in. Just for some understandings of when we say an assemblage, we can look to in 1861, Justice
Molten Mage Gaming, I disagree. Troll the fuck at him. Fuck him.
Benjamin Curtis said a combination or conspiracy by which different individuals are united in one common purpose. So not just a bunch of people in a city protesting.
Phoenix Light Games with the $20 super chat. Says Donovan, I also want to say thank you. My younger brother used to be a fan of Destiny till, oh my God, 2 years ago until I put him on your content. And Pearls and Fresh and Fit, we would laugh because he would say, what the hell was I doing listening to him? You want to know why people listen to Destiny? And I'll tell you what, this is actually a legit reason. 2 reasons why people listen to Destiny. Number 1, he's an intelligent guy. There's no doubt about that. Number 2, he plays video games, right? He plays video games. Anybody who's, and dude, it's crazy that people who play video games for a living are respected. Hey, it is what it is, but consider the source and forget it. Oops, sorry about that.
Different things, but a group of people that are united in one common purpose.
Colin McKell says, this is an extremely low IQ chat. Well, yes, he says, I can tell. Well, of course it is. You're here.
You look to Justice Samuel Chase in the case of Freeze in the year 1800. He says, if a body of people conspire and meditate an insurrection to resist or oppose the execution of any statute of the United States, a statute such as the ECA, the Electoral Count Act, which is what they were united on January 6th to insurrect against. They were opposing the execution of that. They are only guilty of a high misdemeanor, but if they proceed to carry such intention into execution by force, which we did see on the day of January 6th, regardless of if every member engaged in force or just one. They are guilty of the treason of levying war, and the quantum of force employed neither lessens nor increases the crime, whether by 100 or 1,000 persons is wholly immaterial. Doesn't matter if you have an insurrection of 50 people, 100 people, or 1,000 people. You only really need 2 people there to make it an insurrection.
For some reason, the chat's IQ just went up. I don't know, I'm looking at the analytics right now. And the IQ of the chat, about 15 seconds ago was about a 65. It has since tripled. I have no idea why this happened. Call it a coincidence.
Insurrection. In terms of whether or not they were resisting a law or interfering with the cause of government, we can quote here, an insurrection against the United States requires resistance to any statute or some public law of the United States. This is a quote by Judge in, I think, 1826. Curtis spoke this to a jury. He says, the law does not distinguish between a purpose to prevent the execution of one or several or all laws. An insurrection could be directed at a legislature as well as at executive officials. William Rawle declared that an effort to coerce repeal of a general law to be an overt act of levying war. And Justice Field's opinion in the Great House Court case held that any effort to coerce the conduct of government constituted an insurrection, such as when people went to the White House, went to the Capitol to coerce Pence to overthrow the election, which is what Donald Trump told them to do. By force or by intimidation, quoting Justice Marshall in 1807, the most comprehensive definition of levying war against the king or against the United States, which I have seen, requires an assemblage of men ready to act and with an intent to do some treasonable act and armed in warlike manner, or else assembled in such numbers as to supersede the necessity of arms. You don't necessarily need weapons to do it. You could just have the numbers of people there threatening to use force or intimidation. And then for a public purpose, obviously, the insurrection is to, I'm quoting Judge John Kane here, insurrections to...
And guys, please let me know if the... I think Devin is probably behind, but she's telling me that my voice is low. Please let me know if... Please confirm that my voice and the video are at least similar volumes.
To redress by force national grievances or to reform real or imaginary evils of a public nature. Obviously, they were protesting the vote. That's what they were there to do. This is obviously a public issue. So to recount, For the assembly, there were hundreds of people that breached the Capitol building. There were thousands that trespassed on
Kalo, why are you still here, dude? Like, I banned you. Get the fuck out of here.
federal land. For two, there was a clear resistance to the federal law. The trespassers were there to contravene the Electoral Count Act. There was a plethora of evidence brought up in the Anderson versus Griswold case about this, where quoting the justices, quoting the judges on that case, they said substantial evidence in the record showed that the mob's unified purpose was to hinder or prevent Congress from counting the electoral votes as required by the 12th Amendment and from certifying the 2020 presidential election. The third element, the resistance made extensive use of force. This is self-evident just by watching any of the videos. To quote the Colorado Supreme Court again, the mob repeatedly and
He said the Colorado Supreme Court. I'm sorry. The insurrection was a federal crime, gentlemen. The insurrection was a federal crime. He is talking about the Colorado Supreme Court. Now, I'm no expert on law and I'm no expert on politics, but if you commit a crime at a federal building, don't the federal elements have to apply? If this January 6th thing happened in Colorado, then maybe Destiny has a point. This didn't happen in Colorado. This happened in Washington, D.C. So he is using a state standard. He's using the elements of the state and applying it to the federal level. And again, I'm no expert, but I'm willing to bet that the elements required to meet the definition of an insurrection on a federal level probably a little different than the state level.
violently assaulted police officers who were trying to defend the Capitol. Obviously, there were calls to hang Mike Pence, and people marched very famously with 1776 signs, which, as many in this audience might be familiar with, was a very popular insurrection in U.S. history, or a rebellion even, one might say. And then for a public purpose, it was obviously for the public purpose of resisting what they perceived.
Douglas Englert says he never read The Minority Dissent from Colorado. Okay.
To be as the stealing of the election. There are ways to try to counter this argument. We can either use nonsense definitions of insurrection, but that doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters was the public understanding and the legal understanding of insurrection at the time the 14th Amendment was created. And when
at the time, Destiny, it's 2024, my friend. It's 2024, my friend. And oh, by the way, Donald Trump, I think wasn't Donald Trump acquitted of the whole insurrection thing? Like he's a 34, like they convicted him of 34 felonies, yet he's not in jail. Somebody clear that up for me.
Section 3 was framed because that's what the Constitution demands, that we look at what was thought of as an insurrection when the language was added to the Constitution. We can try to divert by talking about BLM or anything else, and I'm happy to dive into all those examples.
Oh, he said BLM. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Ricardo Lopez says calling it an insurrection is a reach. Listen, I'll tell you this. I'll put it to you this way. Guys, I'm not smart enough to tell you whether or not this really was an insurrection or not, but I do know this. Donald Trump is going to win the election, and there is nothing that Destiny or anybody else can do about it. So you can sit here and talk until you're blue in the face. Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. That's just all there is to it. You can look, well, Donald Trump is guilty. Okay, you can have your opinion. He's still going to be in the White House. That's all it is.
We are going to concede on the original argument that January 6th satisfies all four elements of what I consider an insurrection to be.
What I consider an insurrection to be, well, this isn't the United States of Destiny. This is the United States of America. And this is why Donald Trump is a free man walking around about to be president. Because the country doesn't look at the element. Well, let's look at the United States of Destiny's elements. No, Destiny. This is why Donald Trump is a free man right now. Because nobody gives a fuck about your elements.
If we want to concede that and move on to analyzing any particular BLM action or whatever, that's totally fine. We can talk about the like.
Yeah, Tila says, Fresh and Fit chat keeps saying he's on drugs. Did I miss something? Yeah, Destiny, there are rumors. That he is addicted to Adderall. I don't know if that's true or not. People say that he's on crystal meth or speed. I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't be surprised because he is as tightly wound and as high strung as they come.
To work, of which an insurrection has never been defined as. An insurrection doesn't necessarily have to lead to the overthrow of the government. That would be understood as a rebellion. Every insurrection is not a rebellion, though every rebellion starts as an insurrection.
Oh my God.
And then when we say, this is a common one as well, why was no one charged with an insurrection? People can be charged or couldn't be charged with crimes for a variety of reasons, but for purposes of the...
Destiny, If people commit crimes, they are charged with them. If people commit crimes and they are caught committing those crimes, they are charged, my friend. This is why Donald Trump is a free man, because he is not guilty of an insurrection. Now, in the United States of Destiny, maybe. But in the United States of America, nope.
14th Amendment, nothing in there requires the criminal conviction of the crime of insurrection, only that an insurrection occurred and that one engaged in it or aided it.
All right. And that is 6:40. Okay. So
very good,
just 5 seconds shy. That completes the opening statements. Really good arguments from both sides here. We'll go into round one. I'll turn it back.
Bum's Mom says, like, it's sad because this itself could have been so much better if he wasn't high. His mouth grinding teeth to just moving his jaw so much, but in the end, it's whack. Says, not trying to be rude, but it's very noticeable. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Listen, is Destiny on drugs? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If he is on, look, I'll tell you this. If Destiny is on drugs or cocaine or speed, I'm not going to judge him for that because, well, I famously snorted my weight in cocaine when I lived in Vegas. So I'm not going to pass judgment on that. If that's his vibe, as the kids say, do you.
So we just completed opening statements, guys. Each party had 6 minutes and 45 seconds to make their original stance and their first opening statements.
I agree with you, Moms.
Go to round one. I'll set the clock for 3
round
minutes. Andrew,
one.
let me know when you are
Fight.
ready. And I will.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, timer is going now.
Perfect.
3 minutes.
Yeah, so let's start with this idea of my definition. What the
Uh-oh.
hell do I care about your definition? Nobody has been prosecuted for any insurrection by any definition.
Walter. Thank you.
He comes through and he gives us this list. He says, 1, an assemblage. Okay. 2, resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding. Okay. 3, by force or intimidation. Okay. 4, for a public purpose. He has just outlined basically almost every single political riot I've ever heard of. That is what that is outlined.
Wow.
So let's see, an assemblage. This would cover a riot. A bunch of people assembling. Resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding. That could be shutting down roadways for commerce. That could mean anything.
Yeah, that's also what BLM does, gentlemen. That's what BLM does.
By force or intimidating, if you have Black Lives Matter, other groups like this who are out there saying no justice, no peace, that would be very intimidating. And then for public purpose, very nebulous. All of this is completely nebulous language.
T-Law says, I'm not a fan of the guy, but I hope he doesn't go down the path. Yeah, listen, I'm not a fan of Destiny, but yeah, that would suck if he OD'd. And I'm being serious. I don't wish death on anybody, man. Not even, dude, I wouldn't wish death on my worst enemy. And you guys know who that is. That's just,
He has not actually given us a definition at all.
Yes, he did, Andrew. He gave us his definition.
If you could cam me while I'm talking, I'd appreciate it. He has all. By the way, if you could cam me while I'm talking, I'd appreciate it. He has not given us a definition at all. He's just kind of given us this loose, nebulous, framework for what is or isn't an insurrection. So let's kind of dive into a couple more things here. He says people can or can't be charged for a variety of reasons.
Can or can't be charged for a variety of reasons. That's a non, why even speak? Come on. This is what Destiny does. He doesn't make a lot of times he doesn't make statements. When he is proved wrong or when he is debunked, he likes to generalize and diffuse.
That's not saying anything. So what? Yeah, that's true. Maybe they committed insurrection and they weren't charged for insurrection, but also maybe they did not commit insurrection and that's why they weren't charged.
Good comment, the Brown Bunny. Very good comment.
That's a non-argument. He says that these elements, third element, self-evident, Colorado Supreme Court using 1776 signs. People use 1776 signs all the time and have absolutely no interest in any type of rebellion whatsoever. It's very common for people to have those as bumper stickers. That doesn't mean that they're going to be engaging in any kind of rebellion or insurrection.
Very good point. Very good point.
Also, as he talks about these various rulings, he says treason of levying war comes in. Obviously, insurrection seems to have something to do with levying war against the United States, or at least some type of start to levy war against the United States. He still has not actually demonstrated any of this. He's just given us this really nebulous idea. An assemblage resisting any law or interfering with a course of
30
government
seconds.
proceeding by force or intimidating for public. This is very nebulous. So unless Destiny is going to concede that anything which meets this criteria is an insurrection, then I'm not even sure how to go forward with this debate. How in the world can he say essentially almost any
That's why I
riot
love Andrew
on
Wilson,
planet
dude.
Earth, or any
10
assemblage, even a peaceful protest where they shut down the roads, is an insurrection? That can't be true. That just can't be true.
Okay. We had ended there at about 2:57. Andrew, you're up on our channel. They can see you. I don't know if it's on your.
Yeah, we're good on mine too.
Okay.
Ken Rose with the $50 Rumble rant says thumbs up. I swear to God, Ken Rose is so backwards. Sends me a $10 super chat. Nice, beautiful, eloquent congratulations. Then he sends $50. Thumbs up. Appreciate that, man.
You are okay. Perfect. I just want to make sure that we're there. So, but you.
Yeah, with Ghost on the Rumble side says, I appreciate how professional Myron ran this debate. Yeah, he clearly he is a neutral party. That's impressive. Oops, sorry about that.
You are definitely up on, and whoever's speaking, I always make them the main person. So, Dusty, I'm going to put, this is round one. I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, brother.
So I think my definition is pretty clear. There is an assemblage. There's a clear resistance to the implementation or the execution of some federal law. The resistance has an aim to make use of force or intimidation, and it's gathered for a particular public purpose. BLM almost automatically fails on the fact that these were not usually demonstrations against federal.
Usually demonstrations, but there were. Do you guys see how he snuck that in there? See how he snuck that in there? He says BLM doesn't usually. Okay, maybe not Destiny, but they have. Phoenix Light Games with the $10 super chat says this is the problem. People like Destiny want to reserve the right to make their own rules based on how they feel than what it is. This is liberal ideology. It doesn't matter how you feel, only facts. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting. They try to use logic to justify their emotion, and that's what makes them look really stupid.
Federal law. I don't know the federal law or the federal thing that was being resisted by BLM. But again, I'm happy to dive into any particular.
Oh, wait a minute. It froze on me, so let me I don't know why it does that. That's a little bit weird. Okay. Give me a second. Sorry about that, guys. I'll just, you guys know what Destiny looks like.
BLM supposed insurrection or riot, if you'd like.
Supposed.
Again, I mean, that has nothing to do with January 6th. And if you want, then you can see that entire argument, and we can move on to analyzing individual BLM instances. But again, you'd have to show that there was some implementation or carrying out of some federal function for it to be an insurrection against the United States government. States might have their own definitions of state insurrections. I'm unaware of any. So to say again, my definition of insurrection, like very clearly as for elements, if you want to suggest an alternate definition that you feel more accurately comports with what you would consider an insurrection to be, that's fine. But we can't just say that it's nebulous and there is no definition when we have we've got references made in our Constitution.
Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know why it's freezing up. I'll fix it.
And in our federal criminal code to insurrection. That doesn't make any sense. We can complain about people being charged with an insurrection or not, but whether or not somebody is charged with an insurrection, again, has nothing to do with the event itself. For instance, if I were to look and see at any number...
Actually, it does. If nobody was charged with an insurrection, Destiny, then it wasn't an insurrection. This is why we keep bringing up BLM. This is why we keep bringing that up. Oops.
Of BLM riots, if I were to look at a riot, would a challenge to that riot be, well, was anybody charged with rioting? If I could show you a riot where people clearly engaged in a riot, where there was a mass of people that were engaged in violent behavior that involved the destruction of some property or violent activity, but I were to say, well, look, nobody was actually charged with rioting, would you say then that, well, I guess nobody was actually, or there wasn't a riot that actually happened? Nobody would make that claim. There's a whole list of reasons why a prosecutor may or may not charge for particular crimes. In this particular case, there were really good reasons not to head down that insurrection charge road, because it would probably put the Supreme Court in a very hairy area, which they might end up getting into anyway, in terms of actually having a strict definition of what insurrection is. But again, the 14th Amendment doesn't require a strict definition of insurrection in order to disbar somebody from running from office. All it needs is for a court to engage in asking the question of whether or not somebody had engaged in an insurrection, and if they had and were a prior oath taker, then they were barred from taking any public office in the future. So yeah, again.
Yeah, right. And this is exactly why Donald Trump is going to be in the White House come January. Interestingly enough, January 6th, this is weird. January 6th is the birthday of my high school sweetheart. I wonder how she feels about this. I wonder how she feels. Like, real shit. January 6th is my high school sweetheart's birthday. Who knew?
If there's an alternate definition that wants to be explored for an insurrection, then I welcome that. But that definition, it needs to comport with the historical and legal understanding of what an insurrection was. Otherwise, it's just meaningless, meandering, opining that means nothing when we should be thinking, like, what was the definition of insurrection at the time? The 14th.
God, dude, this is just a bunch of word salad, fam. Like,
that's
dude,
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
What was that?
You don't want to use the rest of the 20 seconds, Destiny? Okay. All right.
He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna drop.
I'm
gonna drop the mic.
If this ends up going into like a whole bunch of like BLM stuff, I mean, we can get to that, but that has no bearing on whether J6 would be considered an insurrection or not. So
okay. So 2 minutes and 57 seconds. That completes round one. I will restart the clock. We'll move it to round two.
Fight.
I'll turn it back to you, Andrew. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll turn the clock on.
So I'm not claiming that this has anything to do with BLM. I'm doing an internal critique and saying that
King Life says, you made the definition, Destiny, so that's why Andrew attacked your definition. That's exactly right. He says, low key, when you call it something it was not seen as, that can actually be slander. Yeah, you might. That's actually a very good point. That's actually a very good point, King Life.
if you're going to apply the
I'll tell you what. If the true definition of insurrection were hidden somewhere around the internet, King Life would find it, because King Life is the the private investigator of the manosphere. Give it up for King Life. Give it up for King Life, man. Look, man. Look. Real shit. Honestly, King Life needs to open up a business. He needs to open up a business, because Sterling Cooper told me yesterday about a good friend of his who is a forensics. He looks into forensic analytics. Right? In other words, he gets paid to find money that rich people don't want you to find. For example, people hiding money into the Canary Islands, Swiss bank accounts, Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. King Life is he is the forensics analyst for hoes. He's the forensic analysis for hoes. He can find the bodies that the girls don't want to see. He can find the OnlyFans page that the girls want to hide. Jay Blaze says private hoes. Exactly.
these nebulous standards to this, then you must apply them to this. If this category of
Yeah, listen, these hoes, look, they can run, but they can't hide from King Life.
Category A over here also would include everything which includes a riot, then we would need to know what the delineating factor is. He claims here there must be some federal element. However, that's not in his definition. His definition does not include any federal element. To go over his definition again, an assemblage resisting law by force or intimidation for public purpose. It doesn't say anything about a federal element. He just pulled that out of his ass. I don't know where the hell he got that from. It's definitely not in his definition. If it was, he should have said that was in his definition.
Oh my God.
He keeps going back to this illogical idea that just because X doesn't happen doesn't mean X isn't true. Yeah, that's true, but it also doesn't mean X is true.
Oh my
making the claim
God.
That, wait a second.
Dude, I don't know how he does this, man. I don't know how the fuck Andrew Wilson does this shit. Oh my God. Like, dude, he is a blood sport debater. Jesus Christ.
Andrew, just because they weren't actually charged with insurrection doesn't mean they weren't guilty of insurrection. Well, that's nice, but it doesn't mean they were either. And I have the evidence on my side, as none of them were actually prosecuted.
Jesus. Oh my God, dude, I got a Don DeMarco there, man. Holy moly, Andrew's on fire.
Insurrection. None of them were prosecuted for insurrection, and Trump was acquitted for inciting insurrection. So the evidence is on my side. He would actually have to demonstrate that this was an insurrection and that they were all wrong, that they were completely incorrect in not charging it this way. He just keeps saying, well, there's a variety of reasons why they didn't. Well, that's nice. Couldn't one of the reasons be because it wasn't an insurrection? Yes.
Siege D says, still not super chatting. Maybe I need to switch to a different device. Just cash at me, $ Donovan Sharpe. It's Edwin Hopkins, $ Donovan Sharpe.
It seems to be a very obvious reason, doesn't it? Going back to my opening, I just want to kind of...
King Life says, if Myron and Fresh become the new Maury... Oh, wow. He says, if Myron and Fresh become the new Maury, I'll pop out of the crowd and say, this chick lying, her booty hole's all over the internet. Oh, I love it. An unreasonable man, and it's in white, so I can't... it disappeared. Okay, well, an unreasonable man and something, I couldn't read it because it was in white. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. Put the message in there again so I can read it. It just disappeared. Thanks. Oops, sorry.
Point out that Destiny has changed his entire idea on this, whereas at first he claimed in 2021 this was in no way an insurrection, that it fit the criteria of a riot better from anybody who's looking at it objectively. I agree with him. That's exactly what it fits. But he still has not demonstrated at all.
So Andrew argues that what happened on January 6th was a riot. But Destiny, I think, argues that January 6th was an insurrection. And again, it doesn't matter what it really was. Donald Trump was acquitted, and he is the next president of the United States, no matter what Destiny says. Just doesn't matter.
That this was actually an insurrection. He just says, well, I have this nebulous...
Oh, History Fuzz is here from Unreasonable Man. Speaks very highly of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Definition.
Thank you.
He also says, give me a counter definition. It's not my burden to give you a counter definition. What do you mean?
Ooh, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The burden... Look, if you make a statement, my friend, then the burden of proof is on you. So, for example... If somebody accuses me, Donovan, you killed XYZ person, right? You killed XYZ person. Okay. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The burden of proof is not on me. You made the accusation. Now you have to prove it.
I'm not calling him insurrectionist. You're calling him insurrectionist.
Right.
I don't have to define for you what that means. You have to define for me what that means.
Thank you.
Giving me these four elements here is meaningless unless you can tell me what goes in those categories specifically that does not go in the category for rioting. Because as I look at an assemblage, resisting any law by force or intimidating or for public, that could all just be rioting. That does not really tell me what goes in the category. You didn't include federal anything.
So
I would like
there it is.
Stand on this
there it is. It didn't include federal anything. Remember, guys, he said the Colorado Supreme Court. The Colorado Supreme Court is not the federal Supreme Court. That is the state Supreme Court. And that's exactly what Andrew just pointed out.
I can understand what the hell you're talking about and why the J6ers specifically fit this criteria.
All right. That is 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Destiny, I'll turn it to you whenever you're ready. And we are in round 2 right now, the bottom of round 2.
Oh, bottom of round 2. Myron, no! Myron. Say, I got to call out Myron. Myron, you just committed a sports crime. You committed a sports crime. He said the bottom of round 2. If you're going to call it the bottom, we got to go innings. We got to go innings, Myron.
Yeah, so
this is me being petty.
People so there's 2 parts to the insurrection, 2 elements that I don't think would fit. So the first one is an assemblage. That would clearly fit a riot, I think, but it would
Destiny's getting smoked here, man. He's getting absolutely smoked.
The second part is resisting a particular law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding. There are plenty of riots that aren't riots to resist like the implementation of a law or to interfere necessarily with like some...
Thank you, History Fuzz. Appreciate that.
...government proceeding. We can imagine a million reasons why people might riot outside of a baseball game. People might riot.
Will says, I respect what you say, Donovan. Can't stand the $sign on your stream, though. Will, my friend, this is what I do for a living. This is how I pay my bills. Okay? So, listen, you can hate the $signs or whatever, but guess what? This is how it's done. Support your boy, $Donovan Sharpe. This is just how it works. So you cannot like the Cash App on the screen. This is how it is. This is advertisement. Every business does this. I'm sorry you don't like it, but this is the content creation game. Phoenix Light Games with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, I want to ask you a question. Why is it when women are in conversations like this, they hate admitting things are black and white when they're obviously right? Look, of course, because women argue with emotion. And again, it is, and again, I said in the beginning, the reason why I'm not a good debater is because I don't want to be right. I want to get it right. Okay? Wanting to be right rather than wanting to get it right, that is a feminine trait. Okay? That is a feminine trait. You saw me on Fresh and Fit, 2-3 weeks ago. Dude, I picked apart every one of the girls' points. They still couldn't admit it because they want to be right and they don't want to get it right. Well, Destiny, being the feminine male that he is, wants to be right rather than get it right. And so that answers your question. Appreciate that.
In protest to a statement that was made, or in relation to, I don't know, the outcome of a sporting event. Like, there's tons of people that can riot that aren't rioting with the goal of resisting the implementation of a particular law or trying to interfere with the course of some government proceeding. So the part two, the second element I've listed.
Seriously, Shelby, whoa, slow your roll there, buddy. Slow your roll there, buddy. You're coming in hot and heavy, man.
Really wouldn't comport with.
But you're right. Andrew killed him.
With most riots. And then the third one is the third element by force or intimidation. I would say that riot.
I got raided bish. I don't know what that means. Oh, are you a Raiders fan? All right, seriously, Shelby, explain to me that you got raided bish. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means.
It's generally
says not really. I have been on here as well. I have never, ever. And listen, seriously, Shelby, listen. I'm not calling you a liar, okay? But I have an eidetic memory. I remember everything. I don't remember seeing you here. Please, pump the brakes.
Have a forceful or intimidating aspect to them, although they generally happen spontaneously. Usually they're not planned in advance to use like force or intimidation.
Siege D, did you send in a super chat? My bad.
To quote Justice Greer, quote, legal authorities carefully distinguished planned insurrections from spontaneous riots.
Siege D, copy and paste that comment, if you would. If the one you want me to read, please.
Justice Robert Greer charged the grand jury in the United States v. Hanway that a defendant who was not leagued with violent resistors to federal law could not be prosecuted for treason. Greer insisted that spontaneous riots were not insurrections, that insurrections required a commitment to use force to resist law, not spur-of-the-moment violence. Most riots just kind of like happen. It's pretty rare that they are planned in advance. And I think we all agree that if they are
Cam the King, you're not that smart, dude. Nice try.
Planned in advance, it takes on a much different character and arguably could call under it like different types of crimes. If people engage in rioting, it's not good. But if people are literally planning it out in advance,
Seriously, Shelby says Grid 1 reverted his stream here. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, so thank you for clarifying that for me. Seriously, Shelby.
A whole bunch of different crimes there than just the simple thing of calling a particular thing a riot. And then for the fourth thing, when we say for a public purpose, the fourth element, this is the second thing that I don't think most riots would necessarily be in opposition to, that we are insurrecting for some sort of public grievance relating to...
Yeah, you guys can tell I'm a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer, but I don't know what any of this shit means.
To like the actions of a particular government. So like you might riot, for instance, like BLM might riot against like police violence, but what is there's not like a particular federal statute or federal law there. In terms of me specifying the federal part, well, I mean, J6 was a insurrection against like a federal entity. Again, if we want to talk about like state insurrections or something, I guess we can, but the differentiating factor here, the reason why I have the federal part is because we're talking about federal insurrections, and especially for the 14th Amendment, the federal insurrection part is what we're kind of talking about. I'm not even sure if you can do a state insurrection. Maybe you can. But I mean, like summarizing this argument, like the Colorado court found that Donald Trump acted as part of an assemblage, okay, that he helped bring into being. He called the people there. Trump was resisting the enforcement of
okay. So Siege D says, sorry about that. Says Donovan Sharpe at Grid 1 Motorsports redirected his viewers from his stream over to your stream. It's called a raid. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate that. So yes, I am a boomer and I'm a Gen Xer, but when it comes to this internet stuff, kind of a boomer. So bear with me, guys.
Federal and constitutional rules. He was contravening the 12th Amendment, and he was resisting the Electoral Count Act. Donald Trump, he took numerous illegal actions to prevent the peaceful transition of presidential power. This is like a function of the government. He engaged in
it didn't happen, Destiny. That's why he's still a free man.
Ongoing course of conduct.
Kim the King, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you're not smart. Shut up.
Producing violent resistance to the peaceful transfer of presidential power, and he was attempting to side support to attack Congress. Yeah. Somebody's charges matter. Okay.
That is time.
I'd have given Destiny a few more seconds to get his thoughts, right? Yeah, I like when people come in here and write these diatribes. Like Cam the King, right? He's in here writing these diatribes like he's some like he's some Svengali on debating. Come on, dude. Like, seriously? Come on.
So what I'll do is that concludes round 2.
He actually now you actually do make a good point. He actually does make a good point. Debates are usually seen. Actually, whoever really because here's the thing. Debates are sometimes just pointless because we all have our biases, right? even though we try to be as objective as possible, we have our biases. Destiny fans think the people who like Andrew Wilson, they think Andrew Wilson won the debate. And Destiny's fans can't admit that Destiny lost the debate.
Andrew, I'll turn it back.
Bad Rasta gifted 5 Donovan Sharpe memberships. Mr. Hard Game. Wow, Mr. Hard Game sounds like a porn star name. Seriously, Shelby, Grungehead, Mr. Pitt, and Shade all gifted memberships. If you would, at Mr. Hard Game, Seriously, Shelby, Grungehead, Mr. Pitt, and Shade, welcome them to the TSR family. If you would, you 5, put your age and location in the chat, as is customary of all first-time memberships. Let us do a chat-wide age and location check. The reason I do this is because a question I often get, most often, is, Donovan, how can I become friends with like-minded men? Well, this is how we do it, is with the location check. You never know who could be watching this podcast with you, who could be watching the stream with you. Somebody could be watching in your same city. They could be in your same neighborhood. They could be on your block. They could even be in your building. So let's go age and location check in the chat.
Back to you.
Phoenix Light Games with the $10 super chat says, I wanted to ask if you were planning to do a call-in show soon. I'd love to do it again, but oh boy, wait a minute. Oh boy, that disappeared. Hold on. What happened? What the hell's going on? Whoa, my chat is tripping. Whoa, my chat is tripping. Hold up. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with my chat. Hang on a second. Oh, it's just, okay. Okay. Says, I wanted to ask if you were planning on doing a call-in show again. I'd love to do it again soon, but also be on the screen with a fresh cut. I got to be on my A game. It was dope last time I was on. I don't know that I'm going to be doing that anytime soon, but when I do, I will certainly let everybody know. I'll certainly let everybody know. Let's continue.
Unless you want me to give Destiny a little bit extra time, and I can give you that extra time.
Yeah, just give me the extra time. It's all good.
But I'll let you choose that.
Yeah, I'm fine. He can finish.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Destiny,
good with that.
Go ahead and finish. And I will.
Sure. The final point was that, but my final statement is, okay, if you look at the Colorado court case, they found that Donald Trump acted as part of an assemblage that he helped bring into being. It said that Trump was resisting.
Oh, History Fuss says the polite way to handle this raid is to forward your clan to Grid One's channel one night. Bros, whoa, boy, the chat is really flying. Sorry, History Fuss. He says, bros grow with bros, just saying, because Grid is too mannerly to ever ask. How do you do a raid, guys? Could somebody listen? If somebody can tell me how to do a raid, I'm more than happy to do it. All right, let's go. Oops.
The enforcement of federal and constitutional rules, that Trump took numerous illegal actions to prevent the peaceful transition of presidential power. He engaged in an ongoing course of conduct aimed at producing violent resistance to the peaceful transfer of presidential power. He attempted to incite his supporters to attack Congress, which they did, and that Trump's speech occurred sufficiently close in time and place to blend in with...
Yeah, that doesn't mean he incited an insurrection, Destiny. Sorry.
The insurrection took place.
Sorry,
buddy.
An
incitement.
Yeah.
Like every single part
of
this
is a reach.
Very easily and very
reach.
cleanly meets the definition of insurrection. If we want to argue that my definition isn't clean or that my 4 elements aren't being met, that's well, I don't know how we can argue that. I think all 4 elements are being met. If we want to argue that, well, every single riot would fall into this, then we could say, well, fine, Destiny, I agree. For your definition of insurrection, fine, January 6th.
For your definition of insurrection, Destiny keeps saying my definition, and then when he speaks in the third person, he says your definition. Destiny, my friend, your definition doesn't matter, friend. It doesn't matter what your definition of an insurrection is. And clearly you should know that, because Donald Trump is still a free man, and he is going to be the next and 47th president of the United States.
This was an insurrection. Now let's talk about these other events, and we could talk about whether they fit or don't fit. Or you can give me your own definition of insurrection, and then we can go from there. Okay,
that added an extra 55 seconds. So we'll go into round 3. Andrew, I will give you that, so you will have...
Cam the King says, don't ask me, I'm new to YouTube. Hell, somebody tell me how to raid somebody, man, because I don't know.
3 minutes and 55 seconds to take your time. So I'll start at the clock now.
Yeah, so again, trying to put the burden on me to give you a definition of your claim is insane. As we went through your definition here, it's really funny because I'm going to use your own logic back to you.
Felix says it's not even his own definition. He admits he got it from some other creator. Oh, that's even worse. Listen, what's really, really bad is when you are in a discussion with someone or a debate, you can almost always, most of the time, you can tell that what the other person is telling you in the debate, you can tell whether or not what's coming out of their minds comes from their own mouth or comes from their own mind, right? Now, Destiny talks so fast, I assume that everything comes out of his own mind, but I guess if he admitted that he got his definition from somewhere else, that would prove the point.
Just because they weren't charged with an insurrection doesn't mean it wasn't an insurrection. Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Well, they were actually charged with elements of rioting. So I'm going to say it was actually rioting. And I'm also going to say that, wait a second, your definition here seems to be more about rioting than anything else by your own claim.
Right.
An assemblage would fit a riot, says Destiny. That's his first claim. Resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding. It wouldn't fit rioting itself, says Destiny, even though rioting itself is against the law. What do you mean? Of course it's impeding the law. Well, how could it not be impeding the law? Rioting itself is against the law. I don't know where the hell you came up with that. By force or intimidation, Destiny concedes riots require force.
No shit. So History Fuzz says there's a button in the settings section on YouTube. What? Dude, I didn't know that. Wow. Well, okay. All right.
For Republic.
Phoenix Light Games with the $10 super that says, Destiny, it's not supposed to be your definition. What is the actual true definition? I hate it when people like him want to change the meaning of words to win an argument. That's what women do. Yep. Yeah. Again, wanting to be right instead of wanting to get it right is a feminine trait.
Public purpose. He concedes that's a riot. So really, under his definition, this is just a riot. The only thing that we're arguing about here is number 2, resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding. Let's try this again. Resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding. A riot itself is resisting the law.
That's exactly
because
right.
It's illegal to riot.
That's right.
So I don't understand how that, again, would not just be a riot.
Thank you.
All of these things seem to fall into the category of what people were charged with.
Yeah, so what Destiny is trying to do here is he is trying to characterize a riot as an insurrection because of what Andrew Wilson said. Is because he hates Donald Trump and he hates Trump supporters. But listen, again, Destiny, look, man, like I said, this ain't the United States of Destiny, okay? Listen, Destiny's fans say, yeah, they're totally guilty of insurrection. Okay. In the court of Destiny in the court of Destiny in the United States of Destiny, Donald Trump is guilty of inciting an insurrection. But that's not the country we live in. Listen, guys, that's just facts. It's facts.
Which is much more along and akin to rioting than it is any type of insurrection. He still hasn't told us the distinction that fits in this category, why this isn't a riot, even though everybody was charged under that kind of branch of rioting and not charged for insurrection. This is a garbage definition. It's totally nebulous, right? And he keeps on saying, well, wait a second, Andrew. Why don't you go ahead and concede that unless you can go against...
Mr. Boulay with a $10 super chat says this super chat... I'm sorry, let me get my announcer voice. This super chat is sponsored by Tactical Soap. Try our new scent, Glenn's Musk, an aroma that will make you live stream all night long. Made with teak wood and Glenn's yummy mojo, you'll stand out like a boss. That was great. That was funny.
Against all 4 of these points, well, I don't actually have to do that. All I need to do is say, okay, all these 4 points fit a different criteria better than insurrection. And apparently he agrees. He agrees on point 1, point 3, and point 4. The only thing he argues is point 2, but his argument for point 2 makes no sense because rioting itself is illegal. So therefore you are resisting any law.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, somebody needs to get Andrew Wilson a scalpel. You want to know why? Because this dude is fucking surgical. I don't know how he keeps this all in his head, man. This is incredible.
Interfering with the course of a government proceeding. Well, the government proceeding is to enforce law.
Somebody get this man a scalpel.
With the government enforcing law if you're rioting. So all of these fall under the better criteria of riot, which is, it's totally consistent in my mind because that was the criteria in which people were charged, not with insurrection. And I really need Destiny to answer to that.
Well, he won't.
Okay. That was 2 minutes and 40 seconds. You still have a minute left, Andrew. You're going to concede that round then?
Yeah, I'll let him go ahead and answer to it.
Cool. So I will turn it back to you, Destiny. We're in round 3, and this is the second part of round 3. So your turn, Destiny. I'll start the clock back up for you.
Breaking a law and resisting law are not the same thing. Usually when people riot...
breaking the law. Okay, all right. Now, Destiny is right about that. Breaking the law and resisting the law are not the same thing, but but they can lead to similar results, right? Here's an example. Masturbating and having sex are not the same, but the end result is ejaculation orgasm. It's, so, okay, breaking the law and resisting the law, not the same thing, but you can still get the same results. Nice try.
They're not rioting with the purpose of making arson or murder or whatever other crimes are being broken to make those legal things. Usually they're breaking laws, not with the intent of like resisting the implementation or the execution of those laws, or resisting or contravening the execution of like some function of government. When people were rioting on January 6th, the goal of that...
Oh, so now it's a riot? Oh, he was being facetious. He was being sarcastic. I got it.
Was to stop the execution of the Electoral Count Act. It was to stop the purpose of the government, the execution, the function of government to do the peaceful transfer of power. They weren't simply engaged in violence and breaking the law. They were resisting the carrying out of the law, the Electoral Count Act, the ECA.
Guys, I got to tell you, I have never witnessed a better debater than Andrew Wilson. I just don't know. I don't know how this guy does it. I really don't, man. It's incredible.
And I don't know. We can loop on this over and over again. But again, if I can show you in Kenosha, if I can show you in Seattle, if I can show you a riot, if I can give you
Antifa,
a video of
BLM,
burning, people screaming and throwing shit, of property being destroyed or damaged, and then you were to go, wow.
Elaine asks a very good question. Does intention matter? Nope. It does not matter. The action matters, right? Intention doesn't matter when it comes to crime, Destiny. Intention does not. Intention. Well, I didn't mean to kill her. Well, guess what? You still killed her, right? I didn't mean to speed. Well, you're still guilty of speeding. It was not my intention to run that. It was not my intention to run that red light and T-bone a car, but you're still going to be charged with reckless driving.
Wow, that kind of looks like a riot to me. I would go, yeah, it kind of does. However, nobody was actually charged with the crime of rioting. So do you change your mind?
Absolutely true, Ox Craig, 100%.
And on that, probably wouldn't affect your opinion at all.
Jason Bernardino, strongly disagree.
Again, whether or not you levy a particular charge at a person is way different than whether or not a particular event was a thing. Remember, when you levy a charge at somebody, a criminal charge, what you're really saying is that you can take a person, an individual, and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that no reasonable mind would agree that something else could have happened in front of a jury. That's what criminal court is for. Proving that somebody engaged in a crime beyond a reasonable doubt in a criminal court is not the standard that we use to declare a particular thing a thing. You don't have to prove in criminal court beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, you do. This is why Donald Trump is... What Destiny is saying is... Oh, my God. So Destiny is saying, well, even though Donald Trump wasn't found guilty, he's still guilty. That's the spirit. You know what? Look. Okay. In the United States of Destiny, Donald Trump is guilty. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. Oops.
That a thing was an insurrection or that a thing was a riot unless we were charging somebody with an actual crime.
Okay. There's that's 1:50 on the clock. So,
dude, if I could pick that apart, Andrew's going to pick it apart.
That concludes round 3.
Round 3.
And I'm going to turn it to you, gentlemen. You guys can let me know what you want. We can either do another round of 3 minutes uninterrupted debating, if you guys want to formulate your arguments a bit more, because I know there is some disagreement.
I would like to do one more round.
There we go. Let's go.
Sure.
Okay, and then after that, so we'll go into a 4th round with a 3-minute debate time limit where no interruptions. Then after that, we can get into the 5 minutes of discourse between you two where you can actually speak. But is that fair for everybody?
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
All right, so I will go ahead and reset the clock. This will be round...
Yeah, King Life says that's why resisting the law is breaking the law. Exactly. Resisting arrest is a crime. Resisting arrest is every bit of a crime as running from the cops. It's the same. It's not exactly the same thing, but the result is the same. Just like masturbation and sex. Masturbation and sex are two different activities that have the same end result.
4.
By and large.
Take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, so this is an absurd argument. We'll go right back to Destiny's logic again. He says just because somebody wasn't charged with X doesn't mean X didn't happen. This is the same. This is complete and total obfuscation, by the way. Because ultimately, what's going on here is that these do fit the criteria much better for a riot. Damn. And under the purview of rioting, these are the types of charges which were levied at these people. Destiny says specifically under point 2, he said, and he didn't answer to this. He said, resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding wouldn't fit rioting. Yes, it does fit rioting. It fits rioting better than anything else I can think of. Yes, you are immediately, upon rioting, resisting the law.
Yes, that's
and
right.
You are obstructing the law immediately. That is what a riot is. It's an unlawful assembly. So how he could say this?
Yeah, Jason Bernardino, still disagree. Like, look, fam, listen, I mean, if you don't like Andrew Wilson, like, respect. If you don't like Andrew Wilson, just say so. But there is, like, for you to say that even Andrew knew he lost, like, dude, you're lying. Like, that's not true. That's, like, you're talking crazy right now, Jason. I mean, honestly, I don't know how any logical person can say that Andrew lost this debate and actually listen to this with a logical and reasonable eye. I really don't. I think you just don't like Andrew Wilson. And you telling me that Andrew Wilson thinks he lost the debate? Come on, man. You don't know that he thinks he lost that debate. He could have deleted that video from the channel for any reason at all.
In fact, each point, he concedes on point one, an assemblage that would fit a riot. An assemblage would fit a riot. That's point one. He agrees.
There you go.
Okay. Point three, by force or intimidation, he agrees on point three that is a riot. He agrees on point four. He conceded on that.
Yeah, Felix says, Jason, Andrew removed all videos and adds it to his paid website for content. There you go. Just because he deleted the video, Jason, doesn't mean he thinks he lost the debate. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Come on.
And then he just conceded on point two. He couldn't exactly tell us why resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding wouldn't fit a riot. Of course it fits a riot. All of these, in fact, fit the...
No, Jason Bernardino's not acting like a wimp. He's simply expressing his opinion, you know? He thinks Andrew Wilson lost the debate, and my position is that he thinks Andrew Wilson lost the debate because he just doesn't like him. And that's okay, but just say so.
Events of January 6th.
And listen, I'll admit, and guys, listen, I'm going to call myself out here. Guys. I'm not objective here. I am not objective. I like Andrew Wilson more than I like Destiny. And my bias towards Andrew Wilson is my bias towards Andrew Wilson and my disdain for Destiny absolutely influences my opinion. I can admit that. But that doesn't mean that I can't still be logical, rational, and reasonable to a degree. At this point, it's not even close. Andrew continues to ask him, hey, the burden of proof is on you. Destiny keeps running from that. He points out points 1, 3, and 4. He harps on those, but he's missing element 2. And gentlemen, I want you guys to understand something. And I actually talked with Glenn Lawrence right before I came on. What a lot of people, and guys, please, I am no legal expert. Please believe I'm not. No. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to try to position myself as some sort of legal scholar. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say that I took the bar exam or anything like that. No. I'm not going to do that. But what the lay person rarely understands about the law is that it's not just about the action. Okay, there are elements that have to be met. Okay, there are elements to a crime that have to be met. So, for example, and I'm actually looking it up right now. For example, let's say that somebody kidnaps somebody. He kidnapped her. Okay, well, what did they do? Well, they took them against their will. Well, no, there are many elements to kidnapping, and for whatever reason, it's not coming up. You can't just accuse someone of kidnapping because they grabbed someone, put them in a car, and drove away. No, there are certain elements that have to be met in order for it to meet the standard of whatever the accusation is. So if you're going to accuse somebody of kidnapping, you got to understand that all 4 elements of kidnapping have to be present in order for it to be kidnapping. It's not just kidnapping because you think it is. Let's continue. Oops, sorry about that.
6, perfectly. And if he's conceding that, hey, these fit a riot perfectly, the events of January 6th were a riot under this definition, which he essentially has conceded is...
Ghost 1978 says, I've been to a bar. Does that count?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give that to you. I'll give it to you.
Then the charges were appropriate that this was a riot and not an insurrection. This could not have been an insurrection. His own definition proves that this is more akin to a riot. He still hasn't really told us, by the way, what an insurrection is, just these kind of 4 nebulous points. But these 4 nebulous points fit a riot perfectly. Perfectly.
See, nebulous points fit them perfectly. Is what Andrew... It's not even what Andrew is conceding, or it's not even Andrew's position. It's a fact. Okay? And this is why the law is how it is. It does not deal with subjectiveness. It is objective. If all 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4 are met, then you are hereby charged with crime X, Y, and Z. That's how it works.
And he's basically conceded to 3 of them on the outset, and then on the second, he's basically conceded that as well. Because resisting any law or interfering with the course of a government proceeding would...
Yeah, Jason Bernardino, I know you watched the whole thing. You know, listen, agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree. I mean, personally, I think you're... And listen, I'm biased towards Andrew Wilson, right? But if you can admit that you're biased towards Destiny, then I'll agree to disagree. But I'm not going to allow someone to come in here and make a statement without at least admitting some sort of bias and not lying about the bias. Don't tell me, well, I'm an Andrew Wilson fan, but he lost this debate, because that would be bullshit. If you don't like Andrew Wilson, look, if you like Andrew Wilson less than Destiny, or if you just don't like him at all, then just admit it. It doesn't mean that you're wrong for that. You're just being human.
Fit a riot by its very nature. The reason it would fit
and just saying is not an argument.
A riot by its very nature is because it's immediately an unlawful assembly. You're resisting the law. You're resisting the police. You're resisting. So whether that's done at a federal level or...
Yeah, Jason Bernardino, you said to me, Andrew is a bunch of word salad. Hate to say it, just being real. Let me ask you a question, Jason Bernardino. Do you like Andrew Wilson? Because what I am seeing and hearing right now, this is not word salad, Jason. Like, this is a surgical dismantling of Destiny's points. So, but I don't even want to talk about the points. Let me ask you this, Jason Bernardino. What do you think of Andrew Wilson? And then we'll go from there.
For a state level, I think it would still meet the same fate of being more akin to a riot. This definition really moves.
Yeah, now that's cap. That's cap. So what Jason Bernardino is trying to do, he's trying to give his position more credibility by saying, I don't like both people. I don't buy that. I think that's bullshit. I think you don't like both people, but I think you like Andrew Wilson less than you like Destiny. Can you admit that? Because for you to say that Andrew is just a bunch of word salad, that's bullshit, Jason. That's bullshit. Andrew is surgically dismantling this man's points piece by piece by piece. But because you like him less than you like Destiny, you just can't admit that you're biased. Just admit that you don't like Andrew Wilson and leave it at that. But I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, Jason. Respectfully, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you on this. We'll just agree to disagree, and you and I are going to leave this alone. If you wanna debate with other people about this, that's fine. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Moves towards a riot and not towards an insurrection. He has not told us the distinction yet. And so again, I think that the entire reason he wants this only painted as an insurrection, even though nobody's ever been charged with an insurrection.
There you go.
Even though Trump was cleared of incitement.
Trump was cleared and nobody was charged. How is that word salad, Jason Bernardino? So far, so good.
An insurrection is so that he can make justifications for why the other side deserves what it gets, because they're a bunch of traitors. Thus far, no. I'm sorry, this definition or this lie.
Yeah, Elena says, if you are objective, you are going to be impartial. By saying that one party is a, quote, word salad, you admit you prefer one party over the other. Exactly. It is what it is. Now Jason Bernardino is lying. I like Andrew more. Okay, dude, come on.
Stop the cap.
Okay, all right. Now I got to time you out, Jason, because now you're full of shit. Now you're full of shit. Now you're telling me I like Andrew more. See, this is what guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. People lying to win an argument. He's lying to win an argument. Dude, you're not going to tell me that you're not going to convince me that you like Andrew Wilson more than Destiny. Come on, man. Really? You honestly think that I believe that you like Andrew Wilson more than Destiny? Me on, man. Like, bro, you ain't got the lie to kick it. King of Life with the $10 super chat says it is up to the president to determine if a civil disturbance. Let me start over again. If it is up to the president to determine if a civil disturbance is to the level of an insurrection or obstruction of the law serious enough to overcome the ability of civil authorities to suppress it. Wow, very good, King Life. Appreciate that very, very much. Let's continue.
Logic adds up. The logic of saying, well, just because it They
That
weren't
is 3
charged with a
minutes.
thing.
That
Doesn't
is
mean it
3
wasn't the
minutes.
thing. Fine, but that doesn't mean it was the thing either. And by your criteria, it seems like it was this other thing.
Okay, that's 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I will make the clock the same for you, Destiny.
Now, Faith with the star says Andrew's genius. Now, hold on now. Like, I ain't gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go. Listen, Andrew Wilson's a smart guy and he's a great debater. I don't know about the whole, yeah.
To keep it fair, I will start the timer if you're ready now.
Okay, Jason Bernardino, my friend, you need to fucking watch it, bruh. Nah, bruh. Nah. Oh, no. We got to stop the fucking show. Jason Bernardino, my friend, you're out of pocket, friend. You're out of pocket, my friend, okay? I've respectfully discussed this with you, and now you're using all caps. Now you're being fucking disrespectful, okay? Now you're being fucking disrespectful, okay? First, you said some shit that didn't make any sense. Then you lied about liking Andrew more than Destiny, and now you're going to use all caps on my chat? Stand down, Jason. Last warning. Stand the fuck down. Member or not, you're going to respect me and you're going to respect my chat, or I'll ban the fuck out of you. Calm the fuck down, Jason. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to loop on these points. Resisting a law is not the same thing as breaking a law. If you could show me that there was a particular riot where people assembled and the goal of that riot was when they were rioting, they wanted to riot to make rioting legal, and that they had gathered, in order to change the law in a particular area, and they were going to use force and intimidation to do it. We're here to riot today because we're going to make rioting legal. Then sure, then we could argue that that's probably an insurrection. But I mean, these are the...
Wait a minute. Hold on, man. What? What did he just say?
For elements that were historically understood at the time. Nobody had any issues at the time charging people with crimes of insurrection. Nobody had any confusion at the time.
Yeah, it's all good, Jason. It's all good.
Historically, maybe there was Shays Rebellions, the Whiskey Insurrection, the Burr Insurrection, John Brown's raids.
But see, now he's doing it. See, now he's using, we're going to riot to make rioting legal. So you're going to do something illegal to make something that's already illegal legal. Destiny doesn't work that way, friend. Like, do you see what he just did? The example that he gave is committing a crime to make a crime. I actually think I said it right the first time. Okay? You are rioting, which is against the law, to make rioting, which is against the law, the law. Yeah, sorry, Destiny, it don't work that way. Nice try.
Had convictions of, like a Pennsylvania farmer, I think, set fire to a house of a tax collector in 1794. He was charged with insurrection. John Freeze and friends made a show of arms that resulted in the release of persons charged with federal tax evasion. That was considered an insurrection. In 1847, when Hispanic and Native Americans attacked occupying American officials in New Mexico, that was considered an insurrection.
All right, guys, take it easy on Jason. It was just, listen, he got a little out of pocket. It's all good. We all get out of the pocket every once in a while, even me. It's all good.
In 1851, when Pennsylvania...
Yeah, Jason Bernardino, you are hereby charged with inciting a riot in the chat.
Unions obstructed official efforts to capture an alleged fugitive slave. That was an insurrection. In 1856, when there were rival forces in the United States that were violently resisting the laws on slavery, that was considered insurrection.
Here we go.
Riots where people are like, we're mad and we're breaking the law by being violent. They were resisting the law. They were resisting an actual federal law claiming that particular law shouldn't exist. They were trying to...
Yeah, now this is word salad. Like, honestly, this is Destiny trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. My God.
Air a public grievance through force or intimidation with an assembled group of people
Yeah, Jason Bernardino, my friend, let this shit the fuck go. Okay? Let's agree to disagree. Let's leave it at that. Okay? Let's not be a last word type of bitch now, Jason. Okay? Listen, he said, I gave you my position. You will understand why soon. I respectfully disagree. Let's leave it at that. Thank you.
In the goal of overturning that particular thing through violent action. And then on this final thing, so there is a difference between resisting law and breaking a law. Just because you're...
No. There is a difference between resisting and breaking, like I said earlier. But it has the same result. Just like sex. Sexual intercourse and masturbation, they're not the same act, but they have the same result.
Engaged in a riot doesn't mean that you're resisting the implementation of law. People that are engaged in riots aren't usually rioting to make riots legal. That's what would make that the equivalent. And then just the crime of X is not the same thing as the event of X. I don't know why we keep saying this. Nobody was charged with insurrection, therefore there was no insurrection. If I walk into a room and
okay, that makes sense. Now that makes sense, right? Now I'll agree with him on that point, right? Just because OJ was acquitted doesn't mean he didn't kill Nicole, right? Like, we all know OJ did it. We all know OJ did it, but he was acquitted. So I'll agree with Destiny there. Switchblade with a $5 super chat says, I hope this stream doesn't go for this long. Since Fresh and Fit After Hours starts in roughly 40 minutes, I don't want to leave the stream as I still want to support the show. Yes, I will stop the stream at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I see a person's throat cut. Can I not say that there was a murder?
Hashtag, oh my God. Oh my God. I was about to say 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, and I said hashtag. Oh my God. Wow. I am now a creature of the internet.
Here, if
I
nobody
need to go outside and touch grass.
was charged with murder, if I see 20 people setting fire to a house and they all run away and nobody gets charged with arson, can I not say that an arson happened?
See, yeah. Corb says they weren't trying to make insurrection a law, right?
I look on video and I see that there's 500 people blowing up, some shit, and they managed to run away, or the cops, can't arrest any of these people or charge them with like the formal, I guess, crime of rioting. Does that mean there was no riot that took?
No. So what Destiny is saying is that just because nobody was charged or convicted does not mean that a crime was committed. I understand. Now, I disagree. Now, he's right about that generally, right? Like I said, just because OJ got off doesn't mean that he didn't kill Nicole. But his argument doesn't work for this insurrection thing. Again, element number 2, he still hasn't answered.
Place. The crime of X is different than the event of X. And right now, we're talking about if January 6th was an insurrection, not did any individual person engage in the criminal behavior of insurrection. That would be a separate conversation. If we want to have that conversation, we could, but we would have to first concede that an insurrection did indeed take place on January 6th. And I believe that the Colorado Supreme Court engaged in good.
Jason Bernardino with the $10 super chat. Forgive me, I watch the show all the time. No, it's all good. Dude, I get into it with my guys all the time. It's all good. I'm just listen, guys, I am I don't know, maybe this has cost me in the past, but guys, I go back and forth with my supporters. Like, I will disagree with you guys. I will debate with you guys. This is how I am. I'm not going to pretend to agree with someone just because I like you. Like Myron and I, we have disagreements. Fresh and I do, Waller, all those guys. We have disagreements. It's just what men do. It is what it is.
Good analysis, and they decided that an insurrection had taken place because it comports with all 4 elements that I gave to an insurrection that were commonly understood in the historical and legal record around the time that the 14th Amendment was passed, when they were putting insurrection in the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to prevent prior oath takers from holding office again who had engaged in insurrection.
Yes. Okay, but why is Donald Trump going to win the election in a landslide? Because he didn't incite an insurrection.
Okay. So that completes round 4 of the 3-minute uninterrupted rounds. If you guys are okay with it, we will move on to the 5-minute round where you guys are able to actually have open discussion.
Sean Morris. Oh, God. Sean Morris says, you're not real, TSR, if Donovan hasn't put you in your place yet. We've all been there. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I've gotten into it with Sean. Hey, respectfully, man. I tried.
Well, I have a quick counter if Destiny wants to agree to this for the purpose of fair.
Mr. Mr. Belay, the Department of Numbnastics. Welcome to Chat Privileges. Boy, that's a mouthful. At Mr. Belay and the Department of Numbnastics to welcome him to the TSR family. Mr. Belay and the Department of Numbnastics. If you would put your age and location in the chat. Hold on, I gotta abbreviate that. I'm just gonna call you Mr. Belay.
Fairness. I'm willing to do 2 rounds of internal critiques, and I'll allow Destiny to start with an internal critique if I can move to an internal critique after. So 2-5.
And guys, I would love to do this whole debate thing, and I will finish this. I will finish this when I get back. Who knows? I might actually finish this, but I got a 6 o'clock flight to New York City tomorrow. So I got to be up. Dude, I basically got to be up at midnight. Well, not midnight. Maybe, I don't know. Not midnight. Probably 3.
5-minute rounds of internal critiques. Does that sound fair?
What do we mean when we say internal critique? What does that mean?
It means that I'm just here to answer your questions for 5 minutes, and you're here to answer mine.
Oh.
Sure.
Oh, no. Oh, something tells me that this was a mistake. Yo, watch this. Listen, watch this. This is all bad.
I'm willing to do 2 rounds of internal critiques, and I'll allow Destiny to start with an internal critique if I can move to an internal critique after. So 2 5-minute rounds of internal critiques.
Oh, boy.
Does that sound fair?
Oh, boy.
What do we mean when we say internal critique? What does that mean?
See, Destiny's like, wait a minute. What is this exactly? And then Andrew tells him,
It means that I'm just here to answer your questions for 5 minutes, and you're here to answer mine.
Don't do it, Destiny. Don't you do it.
Sure.
Oh, do you guys know what just happened? Do you guys know what just happened? I'm going to give you the perfect example of what just happened. Okay. What just happened? What just happened just now is the equivalent of what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. Not before he got in, not during the fight, but before the fight. You see, and I'm not going to make this too complicated because I know not all of you are boxing nerds, okay? But Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney agreed to so Ryan Garcia's camp said, if I come in overweight, you can take $500,000 from my purse for every pound I am overweight. Okay? Ryan Garcia came in 3 pounds overweight and gladly forfeited that $150,000. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hold up. Oh my God. Hold up. Oh man. I fucked that up. I'm sorry. The math was fucked up. I don't have any excuse. I'm ignorant. Let me just back that up. Ryan Garcia came in at 3 pounds overweight and gladly forfeited $1.5 million of his purse. He gladly forfeited it and proceeded to absolutely destroy Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia's camp convinced Devin Haney, hey, if he comes in overweight, we'll just fine him. We'll just take $500,000 for every pound he's overweight. And Haney's camp is like, yeah, okay, well, he doesn't want to give up, that much. Listen, Ryan Garcia paid that $1.5 million and proceeded to whoop Devin Haney's ass all up and down that ring. And and you want to know something, guys? I'm going to tell you what. I think Ryan Garcia doesn't care that he got popped using steroids. I think Ryan Garcia I don't think he cared about the fight. I think all he wanted to do was beat Devin Haney's ass. That's all he wanted. He didn't care if he retained the belt. He didn't care about the money. This was personal for Garcia. He said, not only am I going to be on steroids, I'm going to come in overweight and I'm going to fuck this dude all the way up. And that is exactly what the fuck he did. That's exactly what he did. He didn't give a shit that he got popped for steroids and he got banned. He got to whoop Devin Haney's ass. And that's exactly what happened right here. Andrew Wilson just suggested something that Destiny had never, ever heard of. Devin Haney's camp ain't never heard of somebody giving up $500,000 for every pound they're overweight, right? Devin Haney's camp right then and there. I don't want to get too far into the weeds to this because I know not all of y'all are boxing nerds. As soon as Ryan Garcia's camp said, hey, just fine us $500,000 for every pound we're overweight, they should instantly, Devin Haney's camp should say, you know what? Fuck that. We're going to do a catch weight. That would have said, if it was fought at a catch weight, I think Haney still loses because Garcia was on steroids, but it would have been 3 pounds less, right? It would have been 3 pounds less. So what Andrew Wilson just did is he just convinced Destiny to agree to something he doesn't fully understand. This is going to be ugly. Monty Hendo with the $2 super chat says Garcia then bet $2 million that he would win. There you go. He bet $2 million that he would win, and he won that fuck. And he won that fuck. He bet on himself and won that fucking money. He came in 3 pounds overweight, $1.5 million, still made $500,000, and whooped Devin Haney's ass.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Oh, God. Andy let him go first. Oh, no.
Okay, just so I make sure I have this right so I can moderate it properly. Is he going to question you, Andrew?
I'm afraid for Destiny, guys. I'm going to be honest with you.
And you're going to answer...
he gets round 1, 5 minutes, and then I get round 2, 5 minutes.
Okay, so basically...
Oh, my God. So, Andrew is setting Destiny up. He's setting him up. Baseball style. He's like, okay, you can get the first at bat. I'm the home team. I'm going to get the final at bat. If I'm in Destiny's camp, I'm like, Destiny, I would not agree to this. I don't know anything about this. And he's going to let you go first. The fact that Andrew is going to let Destiny go first, that's a bad sign.
Okay, so it's essentially a Q&A between the two of you where, okay, so our Destiny, if you're okay with that, we can do that, or we can go to just open discourse between the two of you where
I feel like I'd probably, because I feel like part of my argument is going to be that he hasn't put forth like a positive position yet for me to even attack or interrogate, so I'm not even sure what I would do on the...
Well, that's because of course, Destiny, he hasn't put forth a position. You did. Andrew Wilson doesn't have a position. You're the one that's saying that the people on January 6th and Donald Trump are guilty of insurrection. And Andrew is debunking that. He hasn't made any claims.
Inquisition round. So I feel like it'd be better to just do back and forth.
Yo, I'm a Don DeMarco Destiny. I'm going to Don DeMarco Destiny. Hey, look. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Destiny. Yo, let's run that back. Guys, this is, look. This is very smart what Destiny just did. Destiny got a little time to think and said, no, hold on. You know what? I think I'd rather just do the back and forth. I don't know about this whole, personal whatever. Very smart. What?
Two of you where
What?
I feel like I'd probably, because I feel like part of my argument is going to be that he hasn't put forth like a positive position yet for me to even attack or interrogate. So I'm not even sure what I would do on the Inquisition round. So I feel like it'd be better to just do back and forth.
Okay, well, if you want to do it in the back and forth, I'm prepared for that too.
Oh, very, very good, Destiny. Very good. Andrew Wilson was about to set that ass up, and Destiny was smart. Destiny was smart enough to weasel his way out of that. So Team Garcia said to Team Haney, hey, we're willing to forego $500,000 for every pound he's overweight. And Devin Haney's camp, Destiny just said, nah, fam, let's do a catch weight. Well done, Destiny. Well done.
You guys are good with no more. You don't need any more 3-minute rounds to solidify your stances? No? Okay. So I will go ahead and...
that would have been ugly. Oh, my God, that would have been... dude, look, I secretly wish Destiny had agreed to that because that would have been a bloodbath, but he did the right thing. He did the right thing by weaseling out of that. Good job, Destiny, because that would not have ended well for him.
For 5 minutes, I guess, who wants to kick it off?
I can kick it off real
quick. Do you see? Now, Andrew wants to kick it off. See that? Andrew wants to kick it off, right? Right? See, before, Andrew was like, nah, I'll let Destiny, out of the kindness of my heart, I'll let Destiny go first because this is all new to him. Now that he's weaseled his way out, it's like, all right, okay, things are back to normal. He wised up. He smartened up. It's all good now.
Quick.
Okay.
So, Destiny, would you agree with me that the motivation for demonizing the opposition political party often revolves around calling them traitors, accusing them of treason, and pushing for, some type of villainization that they are against the country, they are against you, they are against everybody?
For another debate, maybe, but that's not at all any of the subject here.
Dodging, dude, objection, Your Honor, dodging the question.
Subject matter here.
Well, I think it is. I think it ties in because I believe that the motivation for why you're claiming that
there it is. Here it comes.
The other side are a bunch of insurrectionists, though you have no direct evidence of this.
Thank you.
And your own criteria is just that of basically a riot, that your motivation is just to demonize the opposition.
And guys, it didn't. Andrew Wilson didn't have to tell us that. We didn't need Andrew Wilson to tell us that the reason why Destiny is taking this position is so that he can demonize the opposition. We knew that already, but I'm glad he said it out loud. Jason Bernardino says, hey, I'm not a switch hitter or a cuck, but let's be unbiased about this.
Sure, but this isn't a debate over my motivation. I could be motivated by 100 million different bad
You are.
faith factors.
He says, I could be motivated by 100 bad faith factors, and you are. That's why he asked you that question, Destiny. Objection, Your Honor, dodging the question.
Literally none of them would be relevant to this conversation. It could be the fact that the DNC actually paid me money to give this precise argument, and Kamala's on the phone with me right now, and it wouldn't have any impact on this particular
that's cap.
Debate.
That's cap.
I think it would be. I think that the motivation for why you're making the argument.
Oh, Switchblade with a $10 super chat. Oh, this is good. Guys, this is the super chat of the evening. Switchblade says, what Andrew Wilson tried to do. Oh, this is great. What Andrew Wilson just tried to do is similar to what Conor McGregor did to Jose Aldo. forced Aldo leading up to the fight to do World Tour promotions, which took time away from Aldo to focus on the fight, and McGregor destroyed him. Very nice. Very nice.
Itself would have an impact on the debate, but I am willing to concede that if you just want to keep it to the material, we can. Let's move over to point 2 then.
God damn, that was really good, Switchblade.
2, you say resisting any law or interference with the course of a government proceeding wouldn't fit rioting itself. How does that not fit rioting itself?
Thank you.
Of
Very
course
good
it
question.
does.
Very good
Well,
question.
let's say, for instance, the purpose of a riot was because you felt like the law wasn't being enforced. It wouldn't make sense to call that part of an insurrection. Let's say, for instance, that there
I
was
agree.
let's
Yeah,
say that
that's
there was a
actually-
lynching of
that's
a
actually
person,
correct,
You
yes.
felt like the cops weren't, upholding their duty or whatever, and so you decided to have a protest that turns into a riot, and you all show up with the goal of protesting and rioting because you felt like the law wasn't being carried out here. You wouldn't really call that an insurrection because they're not trying to contravene a legal process. Just because, again, you engage in unlawful conduct
Okay,
doesn't mean
all
that
right.
you're trying to resist, like the implementation of the carrying out, resisting the laws.
That would be the same case with insurrection then.
Yes, exactly. And this is why nobody, that's why nobody was charged and why Trump was a free man. Does anyone realize that Destiny just defeated his own argument there? Destiny just defeated his own argument.
Yeah,
because when
insurrection
you're
would require.
insurrecting-
Monty Hindo says Connor's the GOAT. Connor is the GOAT as far as promotion. He's one of the greatest fighters ever. But in my, oh boy, don't get me started, man. Oh boy. To me, the greatest MMA fighter of all time is Anderson Silva. Number 2 is Khabib Nurmagomedov. That dude was undefeated. I got Anderson Silva at 1. Anderson Silva, that's my guy. And I've got Khabib Nurmagomedov at a very close 2. But I think Conor McGregor is probably in the top 5 or 7 somewhere.
Also
trying to
require
say-
intent, right?
Yes, yeah, correct. Yes. So the intent would be the contravening of the Electoral Count Act. When people say we need to march and make our voices heard on January 6th to the Capitol grounds where people are going to protest, they're protesting the execution of the Electoral Count Act, which demanded that Vice President Pence count the electoral votes. Donald Trump didn't want that. He made it very clear in the day's proceeding.
Yeah, Ghost 1978. This is good. He says, personally, I would have liked to see the definition based on the context of Section 3, Article 14. Democrats keep saying insurrection, and I'm tired of it. You know what, Ghost? It's funny. Yeah, everybody's tired of it. Everybody's tired of it, and this is why Trump is going to win the election, Ghost. People aren't stupid, man. Destiny can talk until he's blue in the face. Like, we know the truth. We know the truth, and no matter what Destiny says, whatever definitions or word salad he spins, Donald Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. And he will be the second president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Can anyone name the first without Googling it? Grover Cleveland.
Him, Bannon, Eastman, Chesbrough, and everybody else that was working alongside him, Sidney Powell, everybody else, was saying that we need to prevent Pence from counting the electoral vote.
Ooh, John Jones is a good one too. Yeah. Ooh. Now, see, Trenton Moore says John Jones not close. I can't argue with that. Listen, if you tell me John Jones is the GOAT, I can't argue with that. I'm good with that. Anderson Silva is my GOAT. If your GOAT is John Jones, I'm not going to argue with that. Ooh, GS. Ooh, yes. George St. Pierre is definitely in the conversation. Absolutely.
That was the execution of a lawful government function.
Yeah, but even if
an act, and that's what people are going there to protest
if all that's true, Destiny, it still wouldn't matter because the events of January 6th themselves, the intent of the people could have just been to riot, not indeed to commit to any sort of treasonous.
James Sharpe says, "What is your opinion on John Jones?" And this is the brilliance of TSR Live, is that we get into other topics every once in a while. My opinion on John Jones. My opinion on John Jones, man. Like, my opinion on John Jones is, and it, as great as he was and still is, he could have been so much greater. My opinion on John Jones is that John Jones' greatest opponent is John Jones. And listen, man, he's got demons. I got demons. Like, I get it. And dude, that's why I like John Jones, man. That's why I love the dude, because, he's been through some shit. He's got some emotional shit. Like, I get it. I understand. So that's my opinion. Listen, love John Jones to death, man. Dude, that is my fucking guy. And by the way, his brother Chandler Jones, I think, played or still plays in the NFL. So athletic family. But yeah, John Jones, man, dude, so much wasted potential, and he's still one of the greatest fighters ever. Yeah, Monty Hendo says John Jones has NFL genetics. Yes, he is. Yes, he fucking does. Yes, he does. Show enough, yes, sir, says wasted talent. Wasted talent. John Jones was so talented. He tried so many times to sabotage himself, but he was still great. He could have been greater.
Insurrection activity, and you have failed to demonstrate this time and time
there
again.
There it is.
How
there
this
it is.
Actually, would meet the criteria of an insurrection. Them showing up, and just like your take in 2021.
Dorkster says, "What? No, Randy Couture. Randy Couture is one of the old heads, man. Yeah."
Right? When you say, hey, look, the damage would have been way worse if they had shown up with the purposes of actual insurrection or some type of 1776 mindset. This is the most armed nation on planet Earth. How in the world can you say these people showed up specifically in order to do that? That makes no sense.
Yeah, Snow Demi says John Jones has a brother. His brother is Chandler Jones, and I think Chandler Jones plays for the Raiders. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. And Chandler Jones, I know he played for New England, and I think he might have played in Arizona and then in Vegas.
No sense, man.
None of this law, none of that argumentation was stuck with her. People they obviously showed up to protest the certification of the vote. They were called there by Donald Trump.
If it's a non sequitur, then you in 2021 were using a non sequitur when you made the argument.
Siege D with the $5 super chat says, looking forward to your future collabs with Glenn, Grid 1, and Cat DS. Absolutely. Also, I DM'd you tutorials on how to redirect and accept redirects raids. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, shit. Monty Hendo says John Jones has had two brothers in the NFL. Now, that I didn't know. Huh. Who's the other brother? I know one is Chandler Jones. Huh. How about that? I didn't know he had two brothers in the NFL.
From the appearance of this, it could not have been an insurrection.
2021 Destiny was incorrect because 2021 Destiny didn't have the historical context to understand an insurrection. If you want to bring him on here and talk to him, you can.
I am talking
agree with
to him.
everything.
Oh, come on.
No, you're not. I am 2024 Destiny. I have more study.
Listen, this is a look, what Destiny is doing is very slippery and slimy and very disingenuous, but it's actually pretty funny. Listen, if you want to debate 2021 Destiny, be my guest, but this is 2024 Destiny. That's pretty funny.
I've read more papers and I've done more research on this. There is actually a strong understanding of what an insurrection is, and there was a strong historical understanding of what an insurrection is. And the idea that a bunch of people were called on January 6th, the date wasn't a mistake. When Donald Trump sent them down there to protest, when he said, we need Mike Pence to do the right thing, what was he talking about? He wanted him to contravene the law, and that's what people marched down there for.
3-0, Miami J's in the house. He says there are 7 spots left in the TSR League. Tell the people when the draft is, Miami J. And by the way, we will be live streaming the draft.
Donald Trump said 30 minutes before this began that this needed to remain a peaceful protest on Twitter.
No, he didn't. He never said that.
He did. I actually have the tweet.
Didn't.
I have the tweet. He did say that.
In the speech, he said to fight like hell. And in the speech, he said that we need to go down.
I'm talking about his tweets. Why would a person put out a tweet to be peaceful if their intent was insurrection, Destiny?
Oops!
Why would a person call a protest on January 6th? What do you think they were protesting?
What do you mean? They call protest. People call protests all the time. That doesn't mean that the
we're not
purpose
talking
of the
about other
protest
protests.
is
I'm
insurrection. The purpose of the protest was to go out and show support for Donald J. Trump.
For what?
Uriah Faber? Come on, man.
Well, there was a variety of reasons. I think.
No, wait. Are you telling me we can't?
I'm going to give you a variety of reasons. You can't say no. Are you saying there wasn't a variety of reasons why people didn't show up?
Nope. I think there was one clear reason.
And this is where Destiny gets it wrong. I think there was one clear reason. Well, Destiny, unfortunately, people are not convicted on what people think. People are convicted of what happened. For Destiny to say, I think they showed up for X, Y, that doesn't prove anything, my friend. That is, what are you, a mind reader now? What are you clear? I mean, what are you psychic? You can read my, like, well, I think, no, like, that, like, dude, that is a flimsy argument. That's a flimsy argument.
Oh, there's only one reason why.
Yes, email Miami305.j@gmail.com to join the TSR League. Let's do it. and put TSR League in the subject line.
One clear reason.
10 seconds.
Correct.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Okay, what is the one clear reason? There was not a variety of reasons. Some people didn't show up just because they wanted to see what was happening. Some people didn't show up just to support the president. Some people
there
didn't
you
show
go.
up because they
That's
really
time.
like to go to protest.
That's time.
Everybody showed up for one reason, right?
I didn't say everybody showed up for one reason. I said they were called
So,
there for
real
one
quick,
reason.
guys,
That was to
real quick.
Oh, come on.
protest the certification.
Now
of the
he's
election.
splitting
Guys,
hairs.
guys, that is time. I'm happy to let this play out longer if you guys want, and add an extra minute to the clock. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, we can add an extra
I'll add
minute.
an extra
I'm fine
minute
with
to the
that.
clock, and this is still round one of the open discourse, but just try to limit it to 1 minute, and then
Ice Dragon Kid says, I'm so tired of Destiny. I'm not. I'm not tired of Destiny because Destiny, like I said, Destiny is the living embodiment of the reason why the dating market is a shit show. And Destiny, like Brittany Renner, we need to have a spotlight on this guy. He's an attention whore for sure. Let's give it to him. Because the more attention we give Destiny, the more we learn about Destiny. The more we learn about what not to do. Everybody says Brittany Renner's an attention whore, let's not pay attention. No, pay the fuck attention to Brittany Renner. Because she is teaching us how not to do it. Everything about Brittany Renner is proving what we talk about in this community. Just like everything we've said about Destiny proves everything we talk about in this community. Dude, keep running this dude up the flagpole. I'm here for it.
we'll go into round 2 of it, and then we can go from there. And if we need more rounds at the 5-minute mark, we can absolutely do that. So
I have a problem with him ascribing motivation to all. He says there's one clear reason why everybody showed up. That's clearly not true. That doesn't even logically make sense. He could never demonstrate in a million years that there was only one clear reason why everybody showed up. That's a nonsensical argument, Destiny.
That's not the argument that I'm making. If the debate is whether or not January 6th is an insurrection, not did every single person on January 6th engage in the crime of insurrection, or did every single person on January 6th go with the
guys. Dude, there you go, dude. Oh my God, Ice Dragon Kid or Phoenix Light Games just nailed it. I was just about to say this. $5 super chat says, is Destiny going macro to micro? At first he says something in general, then he wants to talk about the specifics when the general isn't in his favor. That's what women do. They go from macro to micro, or if they go micro and their points aren't proven, then they go macro. They go macro to micro, micro to macro when micro or macro is not working, if that makes sense. Oops. Sorry about that.
Intent to commit.
Then why did you say there was one clear reason?
I said that there was a clear reason why people were called there, because there was. Donald Trump called people there to protest not on January 5th and not on January 7th.
Cam the King says, I have no idea who Brittany is.
Stop the cap.
Everybody knows who Brittany Renner is, dude. Stop the cap.
And not in a random part of DC and not in a random part of the country. He called them on January 6th to the ellipses that was less than a mile walk away from the Capitol building, which is where he sent every single person after his speech. He called them there on the day of the certification of the vote.
That doesn't tell us their motivation.
Trying to pressure
which is why Donald Trump was acquitted. Come on.
To overturn the election.
That doesn't tell us their motivation.
That they needed to protest for the lawful slates of electors to be counted, the illegitimate ones to be submitted, and people went there.
Even if I grant your logic,
violent
it makes
behavior,
no sense.
and they managed to delay the certification of the election, which is exactly what they. So then, do you admit then? That
no, I don't admit anything. Even if I grant your logic,
they happen to do every single thing that an insurrection is called for without actually engaging in an insurrection.
Guys,
give me a chance to respond.
Real fast. No,
not only do I concede nothing, but your logic.
We ran out of time on that round. So what I'll do is this. I can see that this is a dynamic conversation, and clearly it's going to go out the bounds sometimes of a time round. So what I'm going to do is
5 minutes.
I'm just going to go ahead and set the clock for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Here we go. Let's get ready to rumble. Here we go.
Of the open
10 minutes. This is it. This is it. This is what Andrew Wilson is here for. This is what Andrew Wilson is here for. He wants the extended 10-minute back and forth. Let's go.
Argument, me just stopping it randomly at 5 minutes would probably be stupid. So I'm going to let it play out. I'll put
very
10 minutes on the
good.
clock.
W. Myron.
Go at it. Is that okay with both of you?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Destiny, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, because I don't want to interrupt you guys again like that. So I'll just go ahead and put 10 minutes on the
Good
clock.
job. Boy, he's a good moderator.
I will start it right now. You guys, you can pick right off where you left off, Andrew.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So to respond, right, and I'll be more charitable with the time back your way now that we have 10 minutes, Destiny, but it's actually an illogical argument to make, to say, even if Donald Trump had some certain intent in his head, that would not mean that the people who were showing up for the protest had that intent. So the thing is like for you, both ways, it's a double entendre for your own logic.
Woo!
Either one,
God.
you claim, wait a second, there was one clear reason everybody showed up, or
Right.
two, no, there was no clear reason
There
why
you
everybody
go.
showed
There
up. They
you
had
go.
multiple motivations, even if Trump himself had a different motivation. This is illogical argumentation.
I'm sorry,
wow.
but this would never be applied to anything. If somebody says, "Hey guys, we're all going to show
That's
up,"
not an
so we
argument
can go
either.
and
No, it
I'm
ain't.
making the argument right now. If somebody were to make the call and say, "Hey guys, we're all going to show up to go and blow this building up," and a bunch of people showed up, and then a bunch of them marched with the crowd, and then they all went and
Cam the King says, just found you on Grid One today. I only follow 4 creators, but I like your show so far. Like the energy and shitting on people. Come on, man. Yeah, look, man, I mean, I wouldn't call it shitting on people. You know what I'm saying? Damn. I think you're kind of right. I think that's a little bit of a dose of reality there for me.
building got blown up, we wouldn't say like, "Oh, well, we don't know what the intention of the crowd was. We don't know what the intention of the leader there was. We don't."
I'm going to go a little bit past 8 o'clock because I know Fresh and Fit After Hours typically starts a little bit late.
know what actually happened there because we can't divine the intention of every single individual
That's
person.
a ridiculous
we can
straw
say
man.
we can say that's you can call it a straw man, but the
It
idea
is.
that in order for me, okay, hold on, what would I need
So
to
hang
show
on, let me
then?
respond
What would
to
I,
your
no,
first
wait,
argument,
hold on.
and then
What
you-
would I
no,
need
no,
to
no,
show?
Yeah, see, he's dodging.
Wait,
He's
no,
dodging.
you're spurging. Let me
I'm
respond
not
to the
spurging,
argument.
but you're not even letting me talk. You can respond to my argument. You can
You
phrase the
made
question
an
further.
argument.
Ice Dragon Kid says, all of this mind reading from a dude who couldn't see if his wife was going to leave him for another dude. Yeah, well, in a dress, no less.
Let me respond, and then you can ask the second argument. I think that's fair. So when you're talking about this from a logical standpoint, when you say, oh, if somebody called and said, hey, we're all going to blow this building up, yes, I would agree that you could probably ascribe the motivation to it.
Elena says, I think it's more shitting on people's bullshit, not on people. Yes! That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you, Elena. Yeah, Elena's right. I shit on the bullshit, not on people.
Then
Most of the time.
can you show me a tweet?
Sometimes.
A tweet or any type of anything from Donald
Maybe not.
Trump saying, hey, guys, show up. We're going to do an insurrection. No, you just made the shit up.
Okay, fine. So I can.
Hey, guys, we're going to show up and do an insurrection. Let's do it.
So as part of Donald Trump's speech, I'll give you 2 quotes. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. Today,
That doesn't raise to the level of let's do an insurrection. Sorry, Destiny. Again, this is all subjective. Like Destiny is purposely interpreting this as insurrection language because he wants this to be true. Again, he wants to be right instead of getting it right. That's why he's getting his ass kicked in this debate.
I will lay out just some of the evidence proving that we won this election. We won it by a landslide. This was not a close election. The first quote. The second quote, we must
Okay, that's the first quote. That's why Donald Trump is a free man. Because the American people, whatever courts were involved, they clearly understood that statement number 1 does not rise to the level of, hey, let's go do an insurrection today.
stop the steal, and then we must ensure that such outrageous election fraud never happens again, can never be allowed to happen again. When he says stop the steal, when they're at the Capitol building on January 6th, and when the election is being certified, what does stop the steal mean there?
Yeah, those aren't elements of an insurrection, Destiny. Do you see what Destiny is trying to do? He's trying to create his own elements that would make his claims and accusations of insurrection true. So the elements that he gave are true in the United States of Destiny. But we don't live in the United States of Destiny. We live in the United States of America. Sorry.
Wait a second. So, first of all, you're attributing to Donald Trump's rhetoric here something which...
Yeah, Ice Dragon Kid says, none of the screams says, hey, let's overthrow the government. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Saber89 with the $5 Rumble rant says, I watched this earlier, and it's crazy. People keep bringing up the same talking points about January 6th that can't be proven. Also, how is it in your new state? It is fucking awesome. Unfortunately, I haven't spent as much time here as I want to because I was just down in Las Vegas for 2 days. I flew in this morning, and tomorrow morning I got to fly back out to New York. Who knew?
He may not have intended. None of that actually shows or demonstrates that he was calling for an insurrection on the Capitol.
Ooh, Siege D says, oh, Fresh and Fit is live. Want to try and redirect raid them or try it some other time? I'm going to try it some other time. I don't have a very big following, you know. I mean, I've got 173,000 subscribers, but I don't think I have a big enough following to make a dent to raid Fresh and Fit. I don't think, but I appreciate it. Who knows? You know what? Next time I'll do it just so I know how, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are just kind of ascribing that motivation onto it for the purposes of convenience.
There you go.
You have to show me there where he calls.
Thank you.
Your example was,
Thank you.
If I say we're all going to show up and blow up this building, that was your example. And
Yep.
when people show up and do it, we can understand their motivation. I agree.
Okay, so Playmaker Ghetto says Fresh and Fit After Hours just started. And so with that, not that I'm going to be taking viewers away from them, but they're clearly going to be taking viewers away from me. So thank you guys very, very much for your super chats and your support. That is going to do it for this, the 1087th edition of TSR Live. My thanks to all of my super chatters, my members, all of my supporters. Thank you very, very much. Shout out to Jason Bernardino. Still love you, man. You the man. Take care, guys. I will see you guys in New York City tomorrow. Have a nice night.